Applications to have his testimony at the commission postponed due to ill health. In April, Karim was admitted to hospital after suffering a suspected heart attack. Chief Evidence Leader Matthew Chaskelson says the commission has received 2 whistleblower reports alleging Karim was recently spotted roaming around the Western Cape.
We've subpoenaed CCTV footage from the shopping centre and we expect to have it received and we expect to have it thoroughly analysed by midday tomorrow. For now, we have a concern that Mr. Karim may be taking liberties with this commission. And that concern is amplified by other whistleblower reports that we've received indicating that Mr. Karim has been seen at social gatherings in the Northwest over his period of ostensible incapacity.
In Parliament, the chairperson of the ad hoc committee that's been investigating police corruption, Soviet Lekganyane, has dismissed reports that the committee has cleared some people of wrongdoing. Lekganyane says such reports are premature and the committee has only begun deliberations on its draft preliminary reports, which have not yet been concluded. Members of the committee are concerned that the report has made no adverse findings against those implicated, such as Police Minister Senzo Mchunu. Babalondenze has more.
On Tuesday, the ad hoc committee discussed the draft report, which made findings against several individuals. But political parties expressed their concerns that the draft did not include some of their recommendations and exonerated those implicated. The draft report found that there were no links between Minister on Special Leave Senzo Mchunu and Brown Mogotsi to criminal networks. But Chairperson Soviet Lekganyane issued a statement saying the reports are premature, irrational and gullible. He says while the committee has begun deliberations on the draft report, no conclusion has been made. Lekganyane said during his Tuesday meeting, the committee considered inputs from its members on the second draft report, which he says was significantly enriched by the members. He says the third draft may be available for further deliberations by next week. Baba Alondenza, Eyewitness News.
A 35-year-old suspect has been arrested in connection with the murder of EFF politician Monica Dube. The party's Tshwane regional secretary was shot multiple times at her home in Walmansthal last month. The motive for the killing is not yet known. The party revealed that Dube had survived a shooting in which she was hit by 11 bullets in March this year. Police spokesperson Athlenda Mate says the political killings team arrested the suspect yesterday. And the Iranian army says that it targeted U.S. military facilities in Jordan with drones after America carried out another wave of strikes on Iran. The Islamic Republic of Iran says it targeted the communication systems and fuel storage facilities for the U.S. military. After air raids were heard in parts of Tehran and explosions rang out in northern and western parts of the country, the U.S. says the renewed strikes against Iran are to curb its ability to threaten shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. Nearly a month after Washington and Tehran signed a memorandum of understanding aimed at ending the Middle East war, the two foes have resumed fighting across the region. U.S. President Donald Trump downplayed the impact of the war on global energy prices during his speech at the 2026 Pennsylvania Defense and Innovation Summit.
A lot of people thought oil would go up to $350 a barrel, and today it's at $79. A couple of days ago, it was at $68. It went up a little bit because I had to take tough action because they did not obey what they're supposed to obey. I mean, they just didn't do it. So we took a little action.
Gold is trading at $4,034.93 an ounce. The rand is at 16.34 to the dollar, 22.11 to the pound, 18.73 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $84.52 a barrel.
In the traffic, look out for faulty traffic lights in North Riding at Boundary and Malibongwe, in Lone Hill at Main and Lone Hill, and in Midrand at Old Pretoria and Olifantsfontein.
And in your sport, Argentina once again coming from behind and leaving it until the closing minutes to beat England 2-1. Argentina will play Spain in the World Cup final on Sunday night. Golf's fourth and final major of the year, the Open Championship, gets underway at Royal Birkdale with 8 South Africans in the field this morning.
A fine day in store for Gauteng, Johannesburg, starting at 4 degrees, peaking at 21, Pretoria, 6 and 23, Vereeniging 2 and 21 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour, evidence leaders at Madlanga Commission will request footage from a Cape Town shopping centre where controversial businessman Suleiman Karim was allegedly spotted having lunch recently.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
We're calling on Joburg to walk the inner city with us. In 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. Babize bonke. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
On 702.
Let's walk the talk.
It's the morning after the night before. The English have been vanquished. The three lions, broken-hearted. All three hearts out of the World Cup. Did you watch the game last night? And how much do you think the spectre of a player like Lionel Messi looms large in the minds of any opposition he plays against? I mean, you see it here in South Africa, in the Premier League, right? Players who grew up identifying, it sounds like a crazy idea, either as a Pirates or a Chiefs supporter. You know, let's say you're playing for, I don't know, Woodbank Black Aces. And yes, I know, don't take me there. Or even Cosmos, right? I'm talking about the minnows now. Teams that are no longer even in the Premier League. It's a big, big game. You are at FNB Stadium. All the teams you admire. The fans, the Vuvuzelas. There's Kaiser Mutaung. There's Bobby. Right? There's Kaiser Jr. There's Jessica. The whole family's there. And you're a Chiefs supporter. And now you must do your best against this side that you've supported your whole life. I mean, if you play football against a Zinedine Zidane, a Thierry Henry, what goes through your head? A Lionel Messi. Are you not absolutely petrified? Is that what happened to the English last night?
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
On 702.
Let's walk the talk.
6:09 on our menu today. We start with the Public Investment Corporation. We'll speak to Dr. Busani Ngaweni, who is the director for the Center for Public Policy at the University of Johannesburg. There's a fantastic article today in the Business Day written by Kaya Sitolo, who questions whether the PIC would be able to meet its own stringent standards for funding based on how it handles its own affairs. And rightly, it should have the toughest measures. You shouldn't be able to get that money as easily as you might your uncles, right? But what does it then say that the PAC has been embroiled in so much controversy? Even more worrying is the fact that we are hearing reports that the Minister of Finance and his deputy, who is also the chair of the PIC board, are not singing from the same hymn sheet. And it appears, at least on the face of it, that the suspended CEO may in fact have been trying to do the right thing. What have we learned from the Mpati Commission, for example, about how the PIC should handle its affairs? And then our big interview is going to be looking at the ad hoc committee in Parliament. The chair of that committee already dismissing reports, this is Soviet Lechanyane, dismissing reports that the committee has cleared some people of wrongdoing. Remember, of course, much reporting yesterday that people like Senzo Mkhunu, for example, were exonerated because essentially there was no smoking gun. This was a committee of parliamentarians who are not lawyers, who are not trained lawyers, many of them, asking questions about what people may or may not have done, rooms they may or may not have been in. I mean, here's a really good example. Do you remember the police officer who actually, I mean, it sounds crazy. I feel like I'm in another world even saying this, right? Remember the officer who paraded her buttocks in front of members of parliament? Because, of course, the allegation was that she had been given largesse, money, to have a procedure, a BBL, as they call it, big bum lift, right? And there she was parading the BBL in front of parliamentarians. Now, what could they do about that? What could members of parliament actually do? But the Madlanga Commission unearthed enough evidence around this issue and her involvement and her being on the take, allegedly, that she got fired and she's now facing charges. Do you see what I mean? The processes aren't quite the same, are they? Is it fair then to say that the MPs should be able to say, this one is guilty of that, that one is guilty of this? Or do they say the preponderance of evidence suggests there may be cases to answer, further investigation, NPA, do your thing, kindly prosecute? But they themselves can't necessarily find the likes of Senzo Mkhunu guilty or otherwise. We'll explore those issues with two members of that committee, and we'll find out if indeed from their point of view, whatever preliminary reports are being drafted at the moment, are we likely to see a whitewash down the road? That's going to be our big interview coming up after 7 o'clock.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
7:02 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
12 minutes after 6 o'clock, as always, of course, there's an entire team of colleagues behind the scenes, producers, helping put the show together. In the booth today, we've got Baphelile and Siyamthanda. You'll hear from Siyamthanda a little later on in the feedback session. Karabo is here for social media. KG starting the clock and controlling gizmos and buttons behind the scenes. And Amoramila is not with us this morning. She's taken some well-earned leave. We welcome back Khomotso Munyai.
Hello, Bongs.
Are you well?
Lovely. How are you?
I'm thrilled to have you back on the show. I'm looking forward to a bit of a dance the next few days.
Always, yes.
As always. Muteo Haripe is also here, of course, with business news and so much more.
Morning, Bongs.
Fit it?
No, I'm not.
Sure, Ndwan. So here's a question. Does that sound inauthentic
What
when
is
I do
that?
it? Sit down. Moving on swiftly along. Here's a shout-out question for the two of you to consider, to ponder. Are there lines people should not cross, particularly at the start of the relationship? It may seem harmless enough, but you with a long-term view might feel if we do this now, we'll pay a price somewhere down the road. So, for example, would you lend money to a new relationship, a fresh relationship?
What do you mean lend?
Lend money. She's borrowing from you.
Don't you give her money? Are you sure you want to do that?
Well, clearly that's not a line for you. Which is the fact that you are lending.
That's going to be a red flag for you,
That
my
in
friend.
itself. Moving in together quite early on.
Big no-no.
Right? What about sharing each other's phone passwords? Right? I mean, Africa Melane had a really, really great example. He reminded us of something Dr. Eve said some many years ago, that whilst you're entitled to privacy in a relationship or marriage, you're not entitled to secrets.
Whoa.
You're entitled to privacy, not secrets. So, of course you should have your partner's password in case something were to go wrong, in case you needed an emergency contact. It's not just about spying, right? Are you happy to share your passwords early on in the relationship? Muteo, this doesn't apply to you. You're married.
How?
But early on, how soon are you comfortable sharing that kind of information?
I don't think that's realistic early on in a relationship because you still have baggage. You still have people you need to get rid of. People you were chatting to just last week. So it's too
Listen
early.
to that.
It's way too early to be giving
And we
out
haven't had the
passwords.
conversation that we may have had the conversation that we're dating.
Yes.
Have we had the conversation that we're exclusive?
Exactly. Exactly.
It sounds like insanity. Let's have a bit of fun with it. We'll tell you what prompts that question coming up.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
072 702 1702 is where you can send us WhatsApp voice notes. Are there lines people shouldn't cross at the start of a relationship? I'll tell you what, there's a line you shouldn't cross if you're invited to testify. Well, I say invited as if it's a polite request. If you're asked to appear before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. Yesterday, the Northwest businessman Suleiman Karim was scheduled to appear before the commission. Remember, he had been for some time because his initial appearance was postponed due to ill health. Yesterday, we heard the most stunning claim. The evidence leader, chief evidence leader no less, Advocate Matthew Chalskelson, telling the commission that he had received 2 independent whistleblower reports suggesting there's absolutely nothing wrong with Suleiman Karim. He's having a grand old time shopping till he drops in shopping centers in Cape Town, having lattes or something stronger. Have a listen.
Late in the afternoon yesterday, we received 2 different whistleblower reports, both confirming that Mr. Karim and an entourage had been seen yesterday going out for lunch at a shopping centre in the Western Cape. The 2 reports corroborated the same details. They seem to be independent of one another, and they've now been confirmed by eyewitnesses at that shopping centre, who we have independently contacted. So we now have it from multiple different sources that someone who seemed very much to be Mr. Karim arrived at the shopping centre with an entourage, went into Woolworths before going off to have a late lunch at a restaurant in the shopping centre. We've subpoenaed CCTV footage from the shopping centre, and we expect to have it received, and we expect to have it thoroughly analysed by midday tomorrow. For now, we have a concern that Mr. Karim may be taking liberties with this commission.
Right? I mean, of course, his lawyers, this is now Karim's lawyers, objected strenuously, saying they also want access to that evidence, that CCTV footage, that they were only finding out about these claims as Taskelson was making them at the commission yesterday. But of course, from what you've just heard there is enough to suggest that when they look into that footage, they might see a thing or two. Remember Thabo Bester? How was Thabo Bester nabbed? He was shopping at Woolies. If he'd just stayed at home in that Hyde Park mansion, we wouldn't know. We'd all still probably think he died. Wouldn't we? Why do people... What is biting them in their homes? Hey? I mean, that doesn't translate in English, but... What's itching?
Tired of ordering in.
That they have to go out. But you know your face has been splashed over every newspaper in the land.
Yeah.
You've been on every television screen in the country. Why would you be out and about having told people you are sick?
Because what are you going to do?
Play with your little doggies, right? Play catch. Play with your children. Yeah, ne?
Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
On 702. Let's walk the talk.
19 after 6. Mateo, you've got a question of your own?
I'm glad I'm sitting with 2 fashionistas this morning, so it'll be easy for you to answer my question.
I'm a fashionista.
Yeah, you know.
On what planet?
Okay, let's not get into this. But
I mean, look at his outfit today.
We all know. I mean, if you're watching on YouTube, it's
so
okay.
you've got to go into our YouTube page. I'm wearing a blanket that is a picnic blanket. And I'm wearing it as a bit of a throw because it's a bit cold.
And it just finishes your look, right?
Well, there's that too. But if you also go into our live stream on YouTube, you'll see the fancy hat Muteo Haripe is wearing. Pot calling the kettle black.
Okay, we've established your fashionistas. My question, are you big on accessories, and just how much do you spend on them?
Not very.
You don't buy shades?
Oh, you consider shades accessories?
Are they not?
Come for him.
They are necessities. What do you mean accessories?
Necessities, right?
My future's bright.
Same. No, I'm lying. Not same. I got too excited there. Love accessories. Earrings, rings, watches. Yeah, love accessories. I'll spend probably more on that than I would on my shoes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this morning, my ring matches my watch, matches my shoes.
Necessities.
I rest my case.
702.
Weather.
But there are no shades in this studio, I can tell you. A fine day in store for Gauteng. Temperatures very much like yesterday. Your maximum in Johannesburg and Vereeniging 21 degrees. A lovely 23 in the capital, Pretoria. A cloudy start to the morning with fog in Cape Town, a max of 19 degrees. Gqeberha and Kukompo City peak at 20 degrees. Mahikeng is 23. That's the same high for Durban.
EWN. Traffic.
All right, a first look then at those roads. Khumutso, what are you seeing on the fancy maps?
You know what I don't think you should share in relationships too early?
Yeah.
Is your live location. Because now you'll be stuck in traffic and your person will be saying, where are you? What are you doing? Do you know what I mean? We don't want that. You don't agree?
So a live location can be shared as a permanent thing, not just for a particular trip.
No, just don't share it at all.
Okay.
Don't do that.
All right.
Do you do that?
Okay. But we do want to know the live location of the accident this morning.
Absolutely. In the traffic this morning, if you're in Devlin, the slow-moving traffic on the Golden Highway from the N12 to the N1. Over in Germiston, traffic is starting to build up on the N3 North as you approach the Geldenhuys interchange. You can also look out for faulty traffic lights in Sandton on the M1 South and Greyston, in Woodmead at Woodmead Drive and Woodlands, as well as in Fourways at Monte Casino and Winnie Mandela Drive. If you do come across any other traffic on your side, please do send us a WhatsApp on 072-702-1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. 702.
Add your voice.
Have your say.
Let's walk the talk.
Good morning, Bongs, and the lovely team. This story about Karim having a time of his life. There's no smoke without fire. It's not kind of a session the commission will just come up and throw out in the open like that. No smoke without fire. I think with this guy is taking the entire nation for a ride. Let's wait and see what will come out of the footage that has been reviewed. Enough is enough. Titus, Johannesburg.
Thank you, Titus, for that voice note. Advocate Matthew Chaskelson yesterday saying that it may be that this particular witness is taking liberties with the commission.
702 online, you should never cross ever. Don't ask me for money.
Money too soon in a relationship? Is that a line you won't cross? We'll tell you why we're asking coming up.
Good morning, Bongani. Thanks for a great show. Hey, Willis must be subpoenaed at this stage. Kibota Besta being seen at Willis, and then there's like Suleiman being seen now, and then there were Willis bags being seen delivering bribes supposedly, and then there was like a Willis bag in that video of Mike van Wyk where they were measuring blocks of whatever narcotics that were there. I mean, at this rate, wow. And then let's not forget Thabo Besta with the whole Willis thing. Wow. It's way too much. This is Bakang from Centurion. Thanks again for a great show.
Start your day with Bongani Bingwa
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
24 minutes after 6 o'clock, things you need to know at this hour. The spotlight returns to the Johannesburg Magistrates Court today. So 2 men accused in an alleged 15 million rand precious metals and gemstones theft will return for their formal bail application. EMPD officer Adrian McKenzie and businessman Etienne van der Walt were arrested by IPID after dramatic testimony at the Madlanga Commission. Remember witness K alleging that she and the suspended EMPD Deputy Chief Julius Mkwanazi and 4 others had raided a Killarney apartment in 2023 and removed those valuable items. And after a brief initial court appearance, that case resumes today with the bail hearing. And just when it looked like one of South Africa's most closely watched criminal cases had come to an end, well, it's been thrust back into the spotlight. The Supreme Court of Appeal has granted the National Prosecuting Authority leave to appeal the acquittal of Nigerian tele-evangelist Timothy Omotoso and his 2 co-accused, effectively breathing new life into the case. Remember, the trio were cleared in April last year of 32 charges, including racketeering, human trafficking, rape, sexual assault, after an 8-year trial in the Eastern Cape High Court. The NPA insists the acquittal was legally flawed, and with the appeal now approved, the long-running legal battle, well, it's far from over. Have you registered? Are you sure you are on the roll? It's your last opportunity, the second and final voter registration weekend ahead of the 2026 local government elections is officially, in fact, underway. If you haven't registered yet or you need to update your details, you can do so in person on the 1st and 2nd of August or register online through the IEC's data-free registration portal. To register, you obviously need a valid South African ID and sign up in the voting district where you ordinarily live. Existing voters can also use this opportunity to update their registration details. The final registration drive follows a strong response in June when nearly 3 million South Africans answered the call and registered during that first voter registration weekend. Imagine if 3 million more were to sign up now. And South African music icon PJ Powers, they call her Tandeka. She was born Penelope Jane Dunlop, celebrates her 66th birthday today. Born on this day in 1960. She's a legend, isn't she? I love her so much. Beloved singer and performer, one of the country's most enduring and easily identifiable voices. Oh, man. She was, of course, the frontman of the band Hotline all those years ago, and this is one of their hits, but so many others. Feel So Strong with Steve Gekan, There Is an Answer, and I don't think anyone has sung World in Union quite as well as she did in 1995.
702.
The newspapers.
Sfiso Zulu.
Good morning, Bongani
Very good
Bingwa.
morning to you. Let me ask you our shout-out question this morning. Is there a line you don't think people should cross early on in a relationship? Sharing passwords, for example. Examining what might be on each other's phones. Is that something that could cause problems down the road?
No, I think absolutely. I think when you're starting out, there should be a level of respect in the relationship. There are certain individualistic things
Respect me, give me a phone.
No, don't take my phone.
Lending
My phone.
money?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Unless it's like urgent to a point where you're almost
shelter
dying.
for the week.
No, ask your
carry
friends,
me
ask your
through to-
family, reach out to your ex maybe. I don't know.
All right. What's in the papers?
Look, Bongani, a UK court battle that could reshape Britain's immigration rules is a story I'm looking at. This is a story about a family of 18 from Gaza that has won the right to move to Britain after a legal fight on human rights grounds. So it all started when one of their family members who holds a Gaza and British citizenship tried to bring the extended family over. I'm talking parents, siblings, nephews, you name it. But the Home Affairs Department said no at first, and then she took the matter to court, and then she won, and the government appealed that ruling. She won again, and now people are basically saying this is on human rights law, and this is what the human rights law requires. Either way, Britain's immigration debate just got a lot louder.
The front page of the Business Day is looking at ructions within the PIC. That crisis growing, the Business Day says. The front page of the Citizen this morning has Gogo Helen Zille. Wasn't she abseiling the other day? She was at a nightclub last week, and now she's cutting grass in Eldorado Park. I mean, if anybody is campaigning for Joburg, seriously, it is Helen Zille, I can tell you. The front page of the Sowetan, the president saying bringing the Phala matter to trial would cause him irreparable reputational harm. But there's a little story inside the Sowetan that prompts our shout-out this morning. The Northwest Hawks are appealing to the public for help. They want to trace 3 men accused of defrauding a 52-year-old Klerksdorp nurse of 2.5 million rand in an alleged romance scam. So they say that the woman entered into a romantic relationship with a man who then told her he was due to inherit 14 million rand from his late father's estate, but he needed about 1 million or so to perform certain rituals to cleanse the will. She resigned her job.
Oh my God.
Cashed out her pension, gave him twice as much as he'd asked for, 2.5 million. Do you think she ever saw a red cent of it again?
Hectic.
Or him?
EWN Business.
Muteo wants to know, are we big on accessories and how much do you spend on them? Do you have a jewelry box? A ring or a watch collection? I mean, jewelry box and bags probably don't apply quite as much to us, Mateo. Do you have a ring or a watch collection?
No, it's the only one I have. The one
You
on my
best
finger.
keep it that way, my friend. What prompts the question?
Well, luxury goods firm Richemont reporting stronger than expected sales in the 3 months to end June, driven by growing demand for jewelry and watches. Now, the luxury goods company's sales rose 20% to $7.2 billion, beating analysts' forecasts. The company's shares were also up 6% yesterday on the JSE. Now, the results also lifted shares of other luxury brands, including LVMH, Hermes, and Gucci owner Kering. Richemont is a luxury goods firm controlled by the Rupert family. While the family owns around 10% of the equity, they also hold 51% of the voting power. The company owns brands like Cartier, Van Cleef & Arpels, Dunhill, amongst others. The luxury firm noted that jewelry sales also jumped 24%, helped by strong demand across different price ranges. The company also reporting improved sales in China, the Americas, Europe, and the Middle East. Now, the strong demand comes at a time where diamonds have fallen out of favor with consumers as lab-grown diamonds flood the market. Diamond sales are also down because of shifting consumer traditions amongst younger buyers, with things like getting engaged or getting married not seen as something to aspire to. So people spoil themselves with those luxury watches.
They need more Imogen Mashazis, hey? Where's the rand?
16 Rand 33 against the US dollar, slightly weaker this morning. 18 Rand 73 against the euro, 22 Rand 10 cents against the British pound. Price of gold down 0.5% at $4,033 an ounce, or platinum is at $1,669. Brent crude at $84 a barrel. More business after 7.
And this Eyewitness News is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. There's a simple question. Am I bothered? Am I bothered though? Ask me if I'm bothered. What am I talking about, Sivisa Zulu?
Well, Bongani, good morning. It's ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula saying the party has no resentment towards its former eThekwini Mayor Zandile Gumede, who has now joined the MK party. Gumede has found a new home in the political party of the ANC's former leader Jacob Zuma. She's maintained a low political profile over the years after being asked to step aside by the ANC due to an ongoing corruption trial against her. Speaking on the sidelines of the TRC cases inquiry yesterday, where Mbalula had appeared, he's emphasized that the party accepts Gumede's decision.
We are not at war or any regret with Zandi. She has chosen a path and she has decided to follow her heart and to follow the path that she has followed, which is Jacob Zuma. It's fine. We'll do what it is necessary, what we have been doing to work for the people of South Africa.
NPO Women and Men Against Child Abuse are calling for the swift sentencing of convicted child sex offender Ian Wares. This follows the postponement of his pre-sentencing trial in the Wynberg Magistrates Court yesterday due to illness. The 86-year-old former teacher was convicted in March of assaulting a grade 5 learner at Rondebosch Boys Primary School in 1998. Although he remains out on bail, the NPA says a warrant for his arrest is pending. Marinda Jordan of Women and Men Against Child Abuse has criticized the decision to keep Wares on bail.
What we are pleased to see is that Magistrate Mickey has only allowed 6 days, and then we are back in court for pre-sentencing.
City of Cape Town Mayoral Committee member JP Smith says they are prepared to take the national government to court for refusing to allow Metro Police to investigate crimes. Smith joined Cape Town mayoral candidate Jordan Hill-Lewis yesterday, along with hundreds of DA supporters in Delft, for walkabout throughout the area. Carlo Peterson was there.
City Mako member for Safety and Security JP Smith says Jordan Hill-Lewis made an important pledge in the DA's pursuit of expanded policing powers. Smith says Hill-Lewis's commitment to establishing a Metro Police detective unit will strengthen the city's case against national government.
It means that when we start litigation against national government, to say that their refusal to expand our powers to do what they should be doing but are not doing and don't appear to be able to do, that refusal is irrational and not in the public interest.
Smith says plans for the detective branch will go ahead if Hill-Lewis secures another term as mayor. Carlo Peterson, Eyewitness News.
And France has moved closer to joining the ranks of countries that guarantee the right to assisted dying, and this is for adults suffering from an incurable condition. This move has been championed by President Emmanuel Macron. Macron had promised such a law when he was re-elected for a second term in 2022. This is a change seen as one of the most important social reforms since France allowed same-sex marriage in 2012. If the country's highest constitutional authority Authority approves the legislation, France will join the Netherlands, Belgium, Switzerland and Canada in legalizing assisted dying. A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures are at lows of 2 and 6 degrees, peaking at highs between 21 and 23.
In the traffic in Midrand, traffic is sluggish on the N1 south towards Allendale Road. And in Germiston, that is, there's some traffic pressure on the N3 north. This is as you approach the Geldenhuys interchange.
The top story this hour, Fikile Mbalula says the ANC has no resentment towards Zandile Gumede for joining the MK party.
From fuel prices to groceries and electricity, in an economy where the price of everything is going up, it's comforting to know that when you switch to OUTsurance, you could actually save money on your car insurance premium. You could save big, like 50-year-old Lawrence, who saves an incredible 309 Rand a month on his 2025 Volkswagen T-Cross. How much money could OUTsurance save you? SMS out to 45142. So that's out to 45142. OUTsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP. T's, C's, and information online.
And they're off. Horse racing is now live on 10Bet. All the tracks, all the races, and all the thrills, all the way down the home straight. Saddle up and join now at 10bet.co.za.
10Bet is a licensed betting operator and supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 shall be permitted to bet. Betting can be addictive. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. License number 921096661.
Johannesburg is calling. Join thousands of Joburgers on Sunday, 26 July for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk in proud partnership with Standard Bank. Experience the energy and spirit of the City of Gold as you walk through the historic streets of Joburg CBD, celebrating a city on the rise. As an iconic brand deeply connected to Johannesburg, Standard Bank invites you to be part of a movement that's bringing communities together and showcasing the best of Josie. Starting and finishing at Ellis Park, this is more than a walk. It's a celebration of our city and its growth journey. The 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, proudly partnered by Standard Bank.
The Global Entrepreneurship Congress Africa returns to Cape Town from 16 to 17 September 2026. The continent's largest Pan-African platform brings together investors, policymakers, and entrepreneurs. GEC Plus Africa is powered by African Bank in partnership with the Western Cape Government, Microsoft, Amazon, Telkom, 22 on Sloan, and more. Register on gecafrica.co. GEC Plus Africa, connecting Africa.
After 2 days of connecting manufacturers, investors, and industry leaders, this year's Manufacturing Indaba exhibition has come to a close. But the work of growing Africa's manufacturing sector continues. So today, you can catch 702 Drive with John Perlman in conversation with the Industrial Development Corporation, a key sponsor at this year's Manufacturing Indaba, as we unpack the event's biggest takeaways. Discover how stronger local manufacturing can drive investment, create jobs, and shape Africa's economic future. That's 702 Drive in conversation with the IDC today on 702.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Hi, Bongani. You just made me laugh out so loud. 1 minute in the car when you spoke about Thabo Beste, and I immediately remembered how he duped Mzwane Lemanyi into attending that 5-star event which Thabo organized from prison. Yeah, man, I think Thabo had everything covered until he decided he wanted to go out and have a jolt, and he went out shopping to Woolworths. Then, yeah, he got napped. Have a great morning. This is Thabo from Alberton.
Morning, Bongani. Hey, Bongs, I heard you say Fere Sean Tuana. How handy you can slang. Yeah, man. I greet you as always. As for Woolworths, Bongani, they changed their black Woolworths bags because of the money that they had that Ket Matata was smuggling or whatever the case might be. Woolworths must be investigated. Why are all these criminals being found at Woolworths? Or Woolworths belongs to the criminal justice system because of their cameras. They seems to be catching criminals. Hey, I Woolworths. All right. Thank you. Nice show as always.
Did Bongani Bingwa just deny he's a fashionista with a ring matching his watch, matching his shoes? And on top of that, he has now used a picnic blanket as an accessory. Did you also just try to say shades are not an accessory? Ah, Bongani, we know your Instagram. Moving swiftly along, why do people go to Woolies and they go shopping? The first thing is going to prison is actually punishment because it takes away your freedom. So when you're just sitting at home, it still feels like punishment. But I still say you should rather sit than go back to jail. And the second thing is power. People can be so drunk on power that they think they can get along with anything. Good morning, 702 Land. Balesa in Waterfall.
Balisa and Waterfall, appreciate those voice notes. On YouTube, I think it's Happy Totetsi who says, I can't wait for Chakalaka to show us that footage from Woolies. Must be something. Calling Suleiman that, all right, no, that doesn't make sense. But anyway, someone else says, I think I also spotted the Kareem lookalike that day. I guess it's impossible to spend stolen money from home. We're talking, of course, about the shocking revelation yesterday that despite telling the Madlanga Commission he was unwell, it is possible that the Northwest businessman Sulim Karim may have been spotted at a shopping center and a luxury restaurant in the Western Cape. Keep those voice notes coming. And Woolies is catching strays. They're not responsible for these people.
Oh, Bongani, this is actually so funny because I literally used the same phrase when having a conversation with a white colleague recently because we had Tanduk Zula. So I was just like, I bumped into him recently and I asked him, what's biting you in your house that requires you to be on the streets every day? And he was just like, what's biting you? I'm like, Ulunya yini, Mausendlini, Ulunya yini. Funny.
EWN Sport.
Those phrases that don't translate well from the vernac into English, Cindy Paluta. In isiZulu, I can say, Ulunywa yini, what's biting you? As in, what is making you leave your house? Is there something that when you're at home that bites you, that irritates you, right? What itch do you have that makes you want to leave your house? But tell you what, here's another question I've been asking this morning. How much does the specter of a Lionel Messi play into the minds of any team that plays against him? I mean, if you're playing against one of the greats of the game, if Zinedine Zidane is on any opposing team, you're going to be intimidated. Did the English lose the game on the field or in their minds?
Because Spain wasn't intimidated by Kylian Mbappe 2 nights ago.
Fair.
So,
but Spain had, as you reminded us just the other day, Spain had beaten France recently, right?
yeah, so I don't, and one of the Argentina players said it last night, I don't necessarily think that England lost the game. England were phenomenal. I think that Argentina just upped the tempo in the last 10, 15 minutes like a team with a big BMT does.
Champions do.
The All Blacks, we used to see it with the All Blacks.
Yep.
Now we see it with the Springboks. You can't write them off. Those last 10 minutes are what takes a good team to a great team, where it's your ability to be like, okay, we're one down, but it doesn't actually matter. This is what's actually going to spur us on. It's not necessarily Messi, because the caliber of players on that Argentina team is phenomenal. So if you missed it last night, you just literally write Argentina off at your own peril. Honestly, the World Cup champions again left it until the closing minutes to snatch victory. They beat England 2-1, setting up a World Cup final with Spain. After an an even first half rather, Anthony Gordon put England ahead in the 55th minute. As the clock ticked down, Argentina upped that tempo and came to life. Pickford forced to deny Gonzalez. McAllister twice hit the post. 85 minutes on the clock, and Fernandez with a 20-yard strike that leveled the game. What a phenomenal goal. 2 minutes into stoppage time, Martinez won it with a header from Messi's cross. England captain Harry Kane.
But yeah, in the end, we just ended up dropping too deep. They was picking up second balls. We couldn't get out, and when you're playing against a team with this quality, in the end, the chances they've got, they're going to score. And just heartbreaking to go out like that. It's always the hardest one to take. But yeah, we're going to have to assess it and then see where we can improve.
Argentina will play Spain in the final on Sunday. England will play France for third on Saturday night. There'll be a public memorial service today for Bafana Mamelodi Sundowns midfielder Jaden Adams, who died on Saturday. Memorial is from 5 p.m. at the Stellenbosch Town Hall. Golf's fourth and final major of the year starts at Royal Birkdale this morning with Henny du Plessis, the first of 8 South Africans to tee off. The defending champion is Scotty Scheffler.
The fairways are tight. there's some thinking that you have to do off the tee, and yeah, you got to be hitting the ball, I think, really sharply around this place if you're going to try and make some birdies. There's some very, very challenging holes, especially some of the par threes.
In rugby, Test match referee Amy Barrett-Turan has stood down from officiating with immediate effect to concentrate on treatment for breast cancer. Barrett-Turan was the first woman to referee a men's match in South Africa and is currently the most capped female referee, having taken charge of 52 tests. The Comrades Marathon Association confirmed next year's race will take place on the 13th of June. A statement read that recent inaccurate and incomplete statements from various bodies and media necessitates the CMA to confirm the date. And stage 11 of the Tour de France, won by Soren Warren-Skold. The yellow jersey stays with Pogacar. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz.
On 702.
Hi, I'm Madison. I'm 11 from Midstream Ridge Primary. I have no idea what I want to be when I grow up, and I can't wait to play the Whiz Quiz with Uncle Bongani.
702.
Coming up at 7:15, the big interview.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. And you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, you can ask them for 500 Rand. Khumutso, what are you seeing at this hour? Roads not too bad, hey?
Not at all, thank you, Bongs. Just slight peak time delays on the usual hotspots. Like in Boysens on the M1 North, it's moving a little bit slowly as you approach the Crown interchange. The N1 North is also starting to experience some peak time delays. This is from Beyers Nodia all the way to Winnie Mandela Drive. Over in Midrand, traffic remains sluggish on the N1 South. This is as you head towards the Butlu interchange. Also look out for faulty traffic lights and four ways at Cedar and Witkopen, in Midrand at Old Pretoria and Olifantsfontein, and in the capital city, traffic lights are also out in Centurion at Hendrik Verwoerd. That's what it is, ne? Verwoerd.
Daarin. Verwoerd.
And south. I'll have more updates at the top of the hour.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. Clever excuses for being late, number 93. The GPS language setting mysteriously changed to Greek. Fortunately, with the Outsurance pointsman on the roads, you no longer have to come up with creative excuses for being late. The Outsurance pointsmen have been easing traffic congestion so we all get to where we need to be quickly and safely for the past 20 years. With Outsurance, you really always get something out. In partnership with 702, Outsurance is a licensed insurer in the FSP.
Light the fire this weekend with Checkers. We have everything you need to keep the braai and the gees going strong. Get deals like pork bulk value pack or braai chops for only $59.99 per kilo. Farmstead pork vors for just $89.99 per kilo. And traditional Texas-style burger patties for only $109.99 per kilo. Valid until 19 July, only at Checkers.
You know when your people are giving their best, not because they're pushed or pressured, but because they feel supported, and support is making sure they're covered. So if something happens, they can get the care they need. FlexiCare Health Insurance makes it simple for every business to protect their people with affordable health cover. You care. We cover. For a tailored FlexiCare quote, speak to your financial advisor today. FlexiCare is not a medical scheme and the cover is not the same. FlexiCare is underwritten by Auto & General, a licensed non-life insurer and FSP, and administered by Discovery Health, an authorized FSP.
Hey guys, this is Robert Marawa, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. Playing responsibly is part of the winning strategy. Make smart choices and continue to score. If you or someone that you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling Toll-Free Counseling Line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
Coming up in the next hour, what's the question? Brought to you by Outsurance. 3,000 Rand in cash is up for grabs. First, 1,000 Rand for the answer. Simply WhatsApp us your name and an answer based on anything that's piqued your interest during the show to 072 702 1702. Later, someone will ask a question to get your answer and they'll win 2,000 Rand. SMS out to 45142 now and you could save on your car insurance.
Who is the whizziest of them all?
It's the Whiz Quiz on 702.
Coming up next, what on earth is going on at the PIC? An acting CEO has been appointed, but could the PIC meet its own stringent standards for how it is managed. That's a conversation with Professor Bongani Bingwa coming up. In the meantime, let's play the whiz quiz. Today, our contestant is 11 years old. Madison goes to Midstream Ridge Primary School. Not quite sure what you want to do later on in life, you were saying, Madison, but maybe you can figure it out by working out what your favorite subject is. Have you done that at least? Do you know what your favorite subject might be?
Yes, it's English and math.
All right, well, we'll see if you can get all the counting questions or the spelling questions correct. KG, start the clock. Which planet is now the smallest in our solar system? Is it the Earth or Mercury?
Mercury.
Correct. In Disney's Lion King, what is the name of Simba's evil uncle who takes over Pride Rock?
Mufasa.
Scar. True or false? The South African coin with the highest value is the 5 rand.
True.
Correct. In maths, which fraction is larger, a half or a third?
A half.
Correct. What is the name of South Africa's national bird, the blue crane or the yellow crane?
The blue crane.
Correct. Which gas do humans inhale to stay alive?
Oxygen.
Correct. Does the word heroic mean ashamed or valiant?
Valiant.
Correct. True or false? Nelson Mandela became president of South Africa in 1999.
False.
Correct. Which famous city in the United States is widely known by the nickname the Big Apple?
New York.
Correct. Spell the word famous.
Famous.
Correct. I think that will be in time. The judges say, oh, you're going to kick yourself for the Lion King. It was Scar. It was Scar. It was Scar. Mufasa was the dad. You did really, really well there, Madison. You walk away with 900 rand. 900 rand. So close, but no cigar.
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz.
On 702.
Current events, developing stories,
Tough questions.
your voice making a difference.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.
What on earth is going on at the Public Investment Corporation? They manage, of course, more than 3 trillion rand in assets on behalf of millions of South Africans, including the retirement savings of government employees. It is one of the most important financial institutions in the land, but now facing yet another governance crisis. The CEO, Patrick Dlamini, has been placed on precautionary suspension following what's understood to be whistleblower allegations of unethical conduct and impropriety. The Financial Sector Conduct Authority has launched its own investigation. Meantime, 2 non-executive directors have resigned, citing governance concerns, and now the institution is under interim leadership. Dr. Bongani Bingwa is here to help us unpack the significance of all of this. A very good morning to you, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Good morning to you and your listeners.
Just perhaps for broader context, I've said in my introduction the PIC is one of the most important financial institutions in the land. Every South African should care about what's going on there.
Oh, definitely. Every South African should care, not only the public servants whose money is being invested by the PIC, but everybody else, because with the amount of assets that the PIC holds, when they invest or when they withdraw from the market, the South African economy will feel it. So most certainly everybody should be concerned.
So at the center of the saga, from what I understand, there's an issue around one of an entity, shall we say, that applied for funding from the PIC, Acapulco, right? And they borrowed money from the PIC. They were investing in Lanseria Airport. They defaulted on the loan. The PIC wanted then its share from the Lanseria Airport. The asset was valued, and in the end, even though the loan had ballooned from 300 to 600 million rand, in fact, the PIC had to pay more.
So the question, Bongani, is in a bank, a typical bank, any other bank that goes through such a similar transaction, maybe even more complicated, will such an occurrence happen? Will it take place? And the answer is no. That is because financial institutions that do lending have built safeguards. They've built very firm and strong front and back offices that are responsible for handling all manner of these transactions, to the extent that we don't know whether or not board members in a commercial bank are involved in approving a deal or they are not, because there are credit committees and so on. The problem in this instance which is a generic problem in some of our DFIs, is the fact that we have not built a strong front office where Bongani knows that this is how I apply, this is how my application will be processed, and then a back office that does all the processing to protect the executive, to protect the non-executive directors, to the extent that when Bongani receives a text message or an email saying that your application is going to credit or has been approved or has been declined, you know that it went through a particular rigorous process. So these institutions, including the PIC, they are therefore at risk and they are exposed precisely because we have not built these front and back end systems or offices that will ensure that you insulate the directors from such accusations.
Allow me to play devil's advocate here because, I mean, without getting into the details, right, and the nitty-gritty of, say, this particular deal, but the point is, after the valuation of the asset was done, the PIC CEO issued yet another report, at least commissioned a report, an independent report that found that the valuation had been, overpriced. And so it would appear, at least on the face of it, that he was trying to do the right thing. He was trying to make sure that the PIC's money is protected. They don't pay more than what they're supposed to, if anything at all. And he's been suspended.
And we should give the CEO the benefit of a doubt in instances like those ones. And that if the board has a problem, they must follow a proper channel of re-evaluating that type of a decision. And why will the board get so involved in any case or matters like this one? I doubt that in a commercial bank that the board would be so involved. The board will trust what is being presented by the CEO because there's been an investment officer who has looked at it. There's the credit and other committees and the assurance committees who will have looked at it. And so they will trust and give the CEO or the executive the benefits of a doubt. Because if you look at it differently, say the CEO is correct, and I have respect for him. He's ran the DPSA 2 times very well. He's ran other SOEs, scandal-free, and is one of the most qualifying person who could have been made a CEO of the PIC, actually. So you need to be able to trust that person, that the person is doing what is the decision is made is in the best interest. You must also remember, Bongani, the question is, did he make that determination or did he commission something independent that made him arrive at that decision? That is very important because if you remove the discretion, then you are protecting the decision. If it was just him making an executive decision that you are re-evaluating something else. However, there's a caveat here. If there was already an agreement and the agreement has been signed by all the parties, you can only review that agreement through a court of law. So you can't just reopen what has already been concluded without going through a judicial review, because that's what South African law says.
Where does the president come into all of this? Because the other issue here that is being whispered is that the finance minister and his deputy, who of course now chairs the PIC, aren't singing from the same hymn sheet, that some of these divisions are around which faction is aligned to either the minister or his deputy. That's surely concerning.
But let's go back to the basics. The question should be, who are the people who serve and lead some of these complicated institutions as non-executive directors? Once the non-executive directors or the board of the PIC is like a network kind of a structure or workplace bargaining, so people who represent constituencies, this is the problem we're going to have. You need to have the best brains in the republic who sit in the board of the PIC, who will have the maturity and the astuteness to understand how to handle matters like this one. But of course, we are asking a question about where the president is and so on. I am not sure what his interest is, but the issue is there was a point at which the cabinet itself approved the board of the PIC, and then cabinet is chaired by the president. So to the extent that there is no national dialogue about who are the best men and women in the republic, and maybe even beyond, who must preside over these institutions, these things are likely to recur. Some of them are happening at a small scale, in SOEs owned by municipalities. Some of them are happening in massive institutions such as the PIC. We're not going to have the PIC, play into the role of being converted into a sovereign wealth fund and so on, when we are still struggling with such basic things like these ones about the decision to review and not to review.
Appreciate your time, Dr. Bongani Bingwa there, Governance Expert Director at the Center for Public Policy at UJ.
702.
Coming up, the big interview.
Will the ad hoc committee report on alleged criminality in our law enforcement and justice system, criminal justice system, be a whitewash? What could MPs have actually found?
This is EWN.
Ramaphosa disputes some facts contained in a report giving rise to impeachment proceedings, and Cartrack is yet to release its investigation into the circumstances of an employee's death. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Proceedings in President Cyril Ramaphosa's case challenging Parliament from impeachment action against him continues for a second day in the Western Cape High Court. Ramaphosa says he doesn't believe any harm will be done in holding off the process for a few more months until the court has considered the report which has triggered the inquiry. His lawyer Wim Trengove yesterday argued that Ramaphosa is entitled to protection from the court because the process is demeaning. But opposition parties argue that the president is trying to evade accountability. Lindsay Dentlinger has more.
President Cyril Ramaphosa is disputing that the evidence contained in a report compiled under the leadership of former Chief Justice Sandile Ngcobo is sufficient to give rise to impeachable charges against him. Advocate Wim Trengove has told the court that the president's reputation would be harmed and he would be publicly humiliated if he were to face an inquiry on spurious charges.
It is a scant price if the risk to which you expose the president without that protection is that he be publicly pilloried as a president who committed a grievous offence.
But Judge Andre Lachransi, one of three hearing the case, put it to Trengove that former President Nelson Mandela once appeared in court in a matter involving the SA Rugby Union. Lachransi questioned whether the impeachment process may in fact exonerate rather than humiliate the president. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News.
Chairperson of Parliament's ad hoc committee investigating police corruption, Soviet Lekganyane, has dismissed reports that the committee has cleared some people of wrongdoing. Lekganyane says such reports are premature and the committee has only begun deliberations on its draft preliminary report, which have not yet been concluded. Members of the committee are concerned that the report has made no adverse findings against those implicated, such as Police Minister Senzo Mchunu. Babalondenze reports.
On Tuesday, the ad hoc committee discussed the draft report, which made findings against several individuals. But political parties expressed their concerns that the draft did not include some of their recommendations and exonerated those implicated. The draft report found that there were no links between Minister on Special Leave Senzo Mchunu and Brown Mokhotsi to criminal networks. But Chairperson Soviet Lekganyane issued a statement saying the reports are premature, irrational and gullible. He says while the committee has begun deliberations on the draft report, no conclusion has been made. Lekganyane said during his Tuesday meeting, the committee considered inputs from its members on the second draft report, which he says was significantly enriched by the members. He says the third draft may be available for further deliberations by next week. Baba Alondenza, Eyewitness News.
Vehicle tracking company Cartrack says it's waiting for external reports before finalizing its internal investigation into the death of an employee. The company says its probe is at an advanced stage nearly 2 months after Gcina Dladla died at the Rosebank headquarters. Dladla had reportedly told her supervisor she was unwell but was allegedly refused permission to go home, claims the company continues to deny. Labour Minister Nkosazana Meth spoke to Cartrack CEO Joshua Victor during an oversight visit yesterday. Kosikona Malingam Nisi was there.
Cartrack's investigation is running alongside the Labour Department's 90-day probe. The department says it has appointed specialists to conduct an extensive fact-finding investigation into Gcina Dladla's death. Minister Nkosazana Meth says the investigation will determine whether there is any causal link between allegations of unfair treatment in the workplace and Dladla's passing. Cartrack Chief Executive Officer Joshua Victor has welcomed the department's investigation, saying he's confident it will clear the company of any wrongdoing.
We've done thorough investigations and we're looking forward to the findings from the Department of Labour and the investigations, which will show that the allegations in the media aren't true
Meth has also confirmed that no notice of any labor violations has been issued to Contract at this stage. Or see Kona Malingamnisi, Eyewitness News.
And the Iranian army says that it targeted U.S. military facilities in Jordan with drones after America carried out another wave of strikes on Iran. The Islamic Republic of Iran says it targeted the communication systems and fuel storage facilities of the U.S. military after air defenses were heard in parts of Tehran and explosions rang out in northern and western parts of the country. The U.S. says the renewed strikes against Iran are to curb its ability to threaten shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. Nearly a month after Washington and Tehran signed a memorandum of understanding aimed at ending the Middle East war, the two foes have resumed fighting across the region. U.S. President Donald Trump has downplayed the impact of the war on global energy prices, and he was speaking at the 2026 Pennsylvania Defense and Innovation Summit yesterday.
A lot of people thought oil would go up to $350 a barrel, and today it's at $79. A couple of days ago, it was at $68. It went up a little bit because I had to take tough action because they did not obey what they're supposed to obey. I mean, they just didn't do it. So we took a little action.
Gold is trading at $4,035.16 an ounce. The rand is at 16.34 to the dollar, 22.11 to the pound, 18.73 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $84.75 a barrel.
In the traffic, look out for faulty traffic lights in Rivoli at Nasrec Road and Main Reef Road, in Edenvale at Modderfontein and Van Riebeek, and in Kelvin at Old Pretoria and Norway.
And in your sport, Argentina once again with a late fight back to keep their World Cup title defence alive, beating England 2-1. They'll play Spain in Sunday's final. There'll be a public memorial service today for Bafana and Mamelodi Sundowns midfielder Jaden Adams at the Stellenbosch Town Hall. And golf's fourth and final major of the year starts at Royal Birkdale in half an hour from now.
A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 21 and 23 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. Proceedings in President Cyril Ramaphosa's case challenging Parliament from impeachment action against him continues for a second day in the Western Cape High Court.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Joburg is more than just a city. It's an energy that connects us all.
That's what makes this one so special.
In 702, Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, hosted by the City of Johannesburg. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
It would be humiliating the president. That's essentially what his argument was yesterday. Wim Trengrove, the president's lawyer, arguing that if we don't stop Parliament's impeachment inquiry, the president will suffer irreparable public humiliation and reputational harm. What's the rush? He wanted to know. The interdict has to be granted because the review application might be concluded by, say, September. Why can't you wait until September? It's just September. The lawyers arguing for Parliament said, hang on, no one may override the apex court in the land. Parliament, the president, no person, no organ of state may simply say, well, we're going to do our own thing. The Constitutional Court, that order must be complied with. Otherwise, it would make a mockery of the principle that essentially the highest court in the land has made a decision. You can't have lower courts deciding what the higher court has already decided and deciding differently. Which way do you think it's going to go?
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
It may have been particularly stinging for the English fans yesterday in losing to Argentina that at some point the Argentinian players were carrying a banner. They were seen carrying a banner that essentially poked the bear of the old wound, the old sore around the Falkland Islands, essentially saying those islands belong to Argentina. Remember, Argentina and the UK fought a war over this in the early 80s. And the Argentinian players were carrying a banner saying that those islands, in fact, belong to Argentina and not the English. Perhaps that was particularly stinging. The other international story, of course, we're keeping an eye on. The US president today scheduled to speak to the American people. Yesterday, saying he is prepared to finish off Iran if Tehran does not conclude a deal with the US.
With Iran, the Islamic Republic of Iran is not happy right now. Should have been done 47 years ago. Should have been done at least during the 47-year period. And it wasn't. Other presidents didn't do what was right. They should have done it a long time ago. It would have been much easier. And they want to settle so badly. They don't like what we're doing. And they do want to settle. We'll find out whether or not we settle with them or we just finish it off.
Yeah, he's always said they want to settle so badly and then things go all right, do they not? How emotional was Juanito Adams? This is, of course, the father of the fallen Bafana Bafana player Jaden Adams, speaking to ENCA this past weekend, talking about his family's grief and the shock of losing Jaden at just 25 years old. The Mamelodi Sundowns and Bafana Bafana's star will be honored in a memorial later today.
En die familie vat het zwaar om het te verwerken. Het gaat niet makkelijk wees om aan te gaan, maar alles zie het gaat als makkelijker. Dat raakt makkelijker, dat raakt niet makkelijker. Zij leren niet om met het te deel. Zoals kijk maar, waar die tijd vorentoe. Ja, die hele wereld gewoon oor die dood van Jaden. En soos ek gesê het, is baie hard om het te vat. En je kan zien die liefde wat die wereld voor zijn sokker gehad en een van Jaden is overwhelming, rechtig.
Overwhelming grief is essentially what he's saying there. How does a family deal with this? How does a parent receive such news? The family in much grief and really in shock, says Juanito Adams there, speaking to ENCA. The midfielder, of course, was found dead at a property in Cape Town. The police have opened an inquest into the circumstances surrounding his death. Investigations continue.
7:02. Up next,
The Big Interview.
Things you need to know at this hour. Is he really too ill to testify? Northwest businessman Sulim Karim, it has been revealed that the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry may have been seen having lunch at a restaurant in Cape Town and shopping. Chief Evidence Leader Matthew Chaskelson revealing this yesterday, questioning the legitimacy of his repeated medical absences. They've since subpoenaed the shopping centre for all the footage to make sure if it was really, really him. Now, December, boss. Well, it just got a whole lot bigger. If you missed last year's sold-out all-white soul sessions with Babyface, here's a chance to make up for it. Grammy-winning multi-platinum R&B superstar Brandy will be in South Africa in December. It's the 2026 all-white soul sessions concert tour experience. The voice behind timeless classics like The Boy Is Mine, Have You Ever, Almost Doesn't Count, Baby will be performing in South Africa, in Cape Town and Pretoria. And I wonder, is there an international artist, an icon now, who has yet to perform in this country that you would still like to see? Top of my list has to be Sade. Top of my list has to be Sade.
Is she not coming this year?
She has Sade? Nope. She famously doesn't like to travel, but she hasn't been here yet to perform. Who would you still like to see come to give a concert here in South Africa?
EWN Traffic.
Quick look at the roads. What are you seeing, Khomotso?
Thank you, Bongs. In Edenvale, traffic is at a crawl on the N12 West. This is from Edenvale Road to the Galulis interchange. In Boksburg, the N17 West is sluggish as you get closer to Rondebelt Road. And over in Boysens, there are still those peak time delays on the M1 North as you approach the Crown interchange, with traffic conditions only easing up just after Empire Road. Also look out for faulty traffic lights that are slowing down traffic in Rivoli at Nasrec Road and Main Reef Road, in Kyalami at the R55 in Kenilworth, as well as in Sandton on the M1 South and Greyston Drive. I'll have more updates in just a bit.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The world is moving fast. Consumer mindsets and preferences are changing in real time. AI is creating new rules, and timelines are shorter than ever. At Plus 94 Research, we help leaders reduce uncertainty. We deliver authentic, real-time data grounded in proven methodologies and powered by relevant, cutting-edge technology. So when decisions can't wait, you move forward with clarity, confidence, and impact. Plus 94 Research, the science of decision-making.
Peregrine Capital presents Brian Habana's Count to 100.
In my journey to 100, it started with my first cap, then my second, 10th, 50th, 90th, 99th.
Brian Habana, his 100th international test.
You get to 100 one decision at a time. For 28 years, Peregrine Capital has applied that same discipline to turn 1 million rand into 100 million. Peregrine Capital. Invest in performance. An authorized FSP. Past performance non-indicative of future performance. T's and C's apply.
Welcome to Nando's Taste-Demonials. It's the flavor! Real reviews by real people. Nadine from Belito is no scallop, but she did call the flame-grilled half chicken in Nando's unique peri-peri recipe with a single side of your choice for $125 dope. Whoop, whoop! Whoop, whoop, whoop! Okay, sorry. Relax, Nadine. The only thing we're busting here is your hunger. Okay? Nando's. Oh, what a place.
After 2 days of connecting manufacturers, investors and industry leaders, this year's Manufacturing Indaba exhibition has come to a close. But the work of growing Africa's manufacturing sector continues. And today on 702 Drive, John Perlman will be in conversation with the Industrial Development Corporation, a key sponsor of this year's Manufacturing Indaba, unpacking the event's biggest takeaways. Discover how stronger local manufacturing can drive investment, create jobs and shape Africa's economic future. 702 Drive, in conversation with the IDC today on 702.
702.
The Big Interview
with Bongani Bingwa.
All right, here we go. On to this now. South Africans have watched for months now explosive testimony, serious allegations, high-profile witnesses appearing before both the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, but also before members of parliament at the ad hoc committee, the process investigating the same alleged criminality in our law enforcement and criminal justice system. It now appears there's a draft report being debated and being drafted by MPs, but already we are being warned by some who say this could be yet another whitewash. But could MPs have found anyone, least of all the suspended police minister, guilty without a smoking gun? I've got two guests this morning joining me, both of them members of that committee. Ian Cameron, of course, is the chairperson of the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Police, and Dr. Musi Maimane, the leader of Build One South Africa. And I'll start with you, Dr. Maimane. Thank you for your time this morning. Could this be a whitewash? I mean, of course, the final report, to be clear, is not yet out, but indications are from some who may be in the know that the exoneration of some of the central figures in these allegations means exactly that.
Good morning, Bongani, and good morning to fellow South Africans. First and foremost, I think in the terms of reference of the committee, it wasn't set up in a criminal manner. It cannot be by nature. What often needs to be delivered on this instance, and that's what is going to be crucial, is that Parliament itself must deal with the political principles. That's where the ministers, that's where the presidency, that's where all of them account. And that's why it's going to be vital emanating from that. The broader point that I think is absolutely important to note here is that South Africans, like anyone else, are sick and tired of ad hoc committees and sick and tired of commissions. They are genuinely desperate to see that the criminal agencies are able to respond, both the SIU ultimately leading to the NPA, and that thorough prosecutions happen. So in parallel, this work should be done, and I'm hoping that when the final report is thus then tabled, that it directs ultimately the recommendations to ensure that criminal proceedings are preferred against people, because citizens have lived through the living experience of what happens when the criminal justice system fails, when police are corrupted, when the leadership of the police fails. They live with the consequences of that. And therefore, in this particular instance, Parliament has to discharge its job, wait the final report, And ultimately, the final report will direct in the hope that it has to find the direction in making sure people are criminally prosecuted.
So essentially, are you arguing then, certainly at the most senior levels, that this is less a legal problem and more of a political one?
Parliament's job is to deal with the political principles. And ultimately, that's where it has to. Whilst the public testimonies have been heard and submissions from various actors in society have been heard, that was an important step. But Parliament's recommendations need to be able to be binding on the executive and ensure that action is taken beyond that point.
Ian Cameron, I know the final report has not yet been tabled, but we've already heard indications from a number of opposition parties who say that some of their recommendations, certainly some of their inputs, don't seem to be even on what is being drafted at the moment. How happy are you about what's unfolding?
Morning, Bongani. Morning, Dr. Maimane. I think it's very important, first of all, to clarify that the narrative or the impression created that people are cleared or not found guilty not only doesn't match the findings in the report, but also confuses what the purpose of the ad hoc committee was. And I'm concerned about specifically certain members that say that their input wasn't there. If you go and listen to what input they referred to, in most cases, it's literally a criminal guilty finding or a strong finding where it condemns someone's action in terms of potential criminal conduct. Now, that's not Parliament's role. In the report, it contains at least 18 substantive findings that I could find. It addresses the conduct of named individuals. It makes findings about political, executive, and other accountability. Bongani, it even goes further, and it identifies all the different governance failures. It recommends referrals to bodies that actually have the legal powers to do that further investigation. And it also recommends where disciplinary action should be instituted, even possible prosecution where evidence justifies it. So I think there's either a misunderstanding or a deliberate attempt to disregard the work done in this reporting process.
And ultimately, a committee like this is part of, and I think this is what Dr. Maimane was alluding to earlier, it's part of a longer coordinated process, all hands on deck, essentially. Whatever this report recommends or finds, there are other players or stakeholders who must do their part to ensure that if anyone is to be held criminally liable, they are.
100%. Let's use Minister Mkhunu as an example. I heard yesterday or saw on social media people saying that he was exonerated. It doesn't say that at all. In fact, it finds that he bears political and executive accountability, and it specifically goes into significant depth regarding the 31 December 2024 directive about the PKTT. And it then discusses all the documented decision-making process, whether it was right or wrong. It shows that he didn't consider the necessary operational impact, and so the list goes on. Remember, the work only starts now. As Dr. Maimane correctly also said, what should happen now is it makes certain recommendations, and for example, my committee, the Police Portfolio Committee, then has a responsibility to go back and see that these recommendations are actually implemented. We need to go and monitor all the referrals. We need to follow up every recommendation. And then obviously we need to make sure that the relevant institutions have to come and report back to Parliament. So our responsibility has hardly started. This is just the foundation phase.
The President, Dr. Maimane, has said that he's going to wait for the outcome of all the various processes that are looking into the allegations that got us here. Based on what this report now suggests, and it's still at a draft stage, I keep having to emphasize, but essentially based on what this report suggests, as you've heard from Ian Cameron, what should the President be thinking about his suspended police minister?
This is not about making a political point, but in simple sense, someone has to ask the question, what confidence will South Africans enjoy were Minister Mkhunu to be reinstated back into his position? Will they feel in themselves, having watched what they have, that they are confident enough to give him the full support? And I've always held the view that it shouldn't have been a suspension. Minister Mchunu should have been removed from the office. It seems in a GNU configuration, seems very easy to remove ministers. Why on this particular one we're not able to move? It's not implying guilt on someone. The appointments of ministers on the part of the president are his prerogative and are based on his own ambition for where the country needs to go. Therefore, ultimately, this should have been a decision taken a long time ago. We can't have too many actors in the police. What naturally happens is that the confidence in leadership diminishes. The second point that I think the president needs to be genuinely considering here is that rather than waiting for all the processes, there are already immediate steps that can be taken, ensuring that there's stability in the police, the correct leadership is in place, that actions are put on the table. The dilemma is we are often caught ourselves in asking for commissions and recommendations, etc., without doing the hard work, which, as I agree with Honorable Cameron, that what needs to happen here is the capacitation of institutions like the SIU, like the NPA, like, in fact, ensuring that investigations can take place thoroughly, effectively, and quickly. Because commissions do a job, but they don't do the job of arresting people. And I would urge that the lesson that we take from here is that if we don't act speedily, we end up with situations that delay justice.
He'll await the outcome of all the processes, including this one. Based on this draft report, what should he be thinking?
Well, I think he should firstly be very, very concerned about the management of the South African Police Service. And this is not just with regards to the executive. I think senior management of the South African Police Service has drastically and over time been purposefully or intentionally hollowed out to suit a certain corrupt narrative. So it should be obviously concerning, but it'll be interesting to see what action is actually taken. If you think about it, over the past 15 to 20 years, we haven't had one national commissioner that actually completed his full term of office. And in most cases, it was due to some kind of alleged corruption.
And perhaps we have to temper our expectations, eh? It was one thing for a police officer to parade her buttocks in front of members of parliament, but she was only fired and charged following a much more rigorous process at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. Ian Cameron and Dr. Musi Maimane, appreciate your time.
EWN Business.
28 after 7, let's get straight into business news now. Muteo Kharipe, Union questioning De Beers' plan to halt the Venetia mine operations. This is NUM, right?
Yeah, concerns over jobs there. The National Union of Mine Workers says De Beers should consider other options before pausing operations for 2 years at its Venetia mine in Limpopo. The company has issued a Section 189A notice beginning a consultation process that could impact 1,134 employees at the Venetia mine and another 80 workers at the De Beers site holder Sales South Africa. De Beers has been struggling with natural diamond sales and prices dropping in recent years. Diamond values have fallen roughly 33% this year. Prices for smaller stones have plunged some 50%, and De Beers' rough diamond sales also are going down 28% year on year. The NUM says De Beers has known about the challenges facing the diamond industry for some time and should have consulted workers before announcing possible retrenchments. The union is calling on the company to explore other alternatives such as retraining workers, job-saving measures and cutting management costs instead of laying off workers. The union has also urged government and other stakeholders to intervene to help protect jobs.
Asian semiconductor stocks tumbling this morning?
Yeah, weaker markets in Asia. Semiconductor stocks there tumbling this morning as a sell-off in U.S. chip makers overnight spilled into the region, with SK Hynix continuing to see massive volatility since its U.S. listing last week. Shares of SK Hynix tumbled 11% in South Korea, reversing the previous session's 8% rally. The broader Asian market also weaker this morning. Japan's Nikkei down 2.7%. The ASX 200 in Australia also weaker, with shares in Shanghai also in the red. Back home, the JSE in some weakness as well, down over 200 points overnight. While looking at the Rand this morning, 16 Rand 34, weaker than the dollar at this hour, 18 Rand 74 against the euro, and 22 Rand 9 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $4,030 an ounce. It's down 0.5%, with platinum following suit at $1,667. Brent crude in the red, but at $84 a barrel. More business after 8.
Time now for your latest Eyewitness News, brought to you by Khalix. Khalix, for the businessman who knows what he wants. Good morning again, Sfiso Zulu.
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. The Public Investment Corporation has fully backed its newly acting CEO, Atandwa Damoyi, who is tasked with ensuring continuity of leadership. Damoyi's appointment was announced yesterday following the suspension of Patrick Dlamini earlier this week. Damoyi takes over at a pivotal moment for the institution, with the asset manager facing an investigation by the Financial Sector Conduct Authority on alleged poor governance and impropriety. Anelita Fandesa reports.
The woman, now tasked with steering Africa's largest asset manager, is no stranger to financial leadership. A qualified chartered accountant, Damoyi joined the PIC as Chief Financial Officer in April 2024 after building a career spanning more than 17 years in corporate finance, governance and strategic leadership. But Damoyi is now tasked with strengthening financial stewardship and governance while overseeing the corporation's financial controls and audit processes. The board says her appointment as acting CEO will ensure the uninterrupted execution of the PIC's mandate while internal investigations continue. Her immediate challenge will be restoring confidence in an institution navigating regulatory scrutiny and growing governance concerns. Anelita Fandese, Eyewitness News.
A 35-year-old suspect arrested in connection with the murder of EFF politician Monica Dube is expected to appear in the Cullinan Magistrates Court today. Dube, the party's Tshwane Regional Secretary, was shot multiple times at her home in Walmansland last month. The motive for the killing is not yet known. Police spokesperson Athlenda Mate says the Political Killings Task Team arrested the suspect yesterday. ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula says the party has no resentment towards its former eThekwini Mayor Zandile Gumede, who's now joined the MK party. Gumede has found a new home in the political party of the ANC's former leader, Jacob Zuma. She's maintained a low political profile over the years after being asked to step aside by the ANC due to an ongoing corruption trial against her. Speaking on the sidelines of the TRC cases inquiry, where Mbalula was testifying yesterday, he's emphasized that the ANC accepts Gumede's decision.
We are not at war or any regret with Zandi. She has chosen a path and she has decided to follow her heart and to follow the path that she has followed, which is Jacob Zuma. It's fine. We'll do what it is necessary, what we have been doing to work for the people of South Africa.
Thailand's government has promised an overhaul of regulations for entertainment venues after a fire at a bar in Bangkok killed 33 people. Investigators have been looking at the cause of Sunday's fire and why it was deadly, with many of the bodies found by the toilets. Thailand's approach to health and safety regulations, particularly in bars and nightclubs, has long raised concerns. In 2009, a blaze tore through Bangkok's Santika Club during New Year celebrations, where 67 people died and more than 200 were injured. A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures today will peak at highs between 21 and 23.
In the traffic in Edenvale, traffic is at a crawl on the N12 West from Edenvale Road to the Gilulis interchange, and in Boksburg, traffic remains slow on the N17 West. This is as you approach Rondebelt Road.
The top story this hour, the PIC has fully backed its newly acting CEO, Atandwa Damoyi.
Every visit to Khalix is an investment you make in yourself, your business, and your bottom line. Because a well-fitted business suit says you're competent, you're respected, you're a disciplined Khalix man. Everybody wants to do business with you. So pop in and discover everything from shirts, footwear, accessories to match, plus a tailoring service to ensure the perfect fit. And remember, nothing says you mean business quite like a Khalix business suit. Khalix, for the businessman who knows what he wants.
Whether you're following every match or just the ones that matter most, stay connected to 702 Cape Talk and EWN.co.za to stay connected to the world's greatest game.
Visit primemediaplus.com to enter 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. Hosted by the City of Johannesburg. Walk with the people, for our Josie.
For Joburg, by Joburg, in Joburg.
Bamise bonke.
When you're walking 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk Sunday 26 July, keep your eyes open because Mazda is bringing wonder to the 8-kilometer route. There'll be 5 Mazda Wonder experiences, including a piano performance, a world of color, a bubble field, a Japanese garden, and the Mazda Wonder Hub. Visit one of the 5, then capture and share your wonder moment on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. Tag and follow at Mazda SA using hashtag Mazda SA, and you could win your share of 50,000 Rand. Mazda, where wonder awaits. T's and C's apply.
At the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, snap and share any one of 5 Mazda Wonder experiences using hashtag Mazda SA to stand a chance to win a share of 50,000 Rand.
702
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Hi, Bongani Jenny G. I really believe it doesn't suit the president to make the right decision. To be honest, I don't think many of the people in Parliament would be in Parliament if they were applying for a job in a business. Do they know what they're doing? They have the skills. And I've certainly seen in business that when people don't know what to do, they do nothing. And that then leads us to this opportunity of corruption. I don't know what to do, but you seem to know what to do. You tell me what to do. And of course, there's money exchanged for that privilege. So my feeling is you'll kick the can down the road, as do many of these commissions. And goodness me, a few good men. Even if we do have a bloated cabinet, out of 66 million people, can we not find, 70 good men and women? Yeah, that's my 5 cents worth. Cheers.
Well, we vote for them, don't we? We vote for them. They're not forced upon us. I mean, we've heard weeks of testimony. You saw different people, police officials, people in intelligence structures. We heard evidence about organized crime within our criminal justice system in front of members of parliament. Is it the case that perhaps we need to temper our expectations and understand that this is just one cog in a much bigger wheel, as it were, and that all these systems need to work in concert to be able to find people guilty or otherwise, but that perhaps we're placing too many expectations on just one part of it?
702.
What's the question?
What's the question is brought to you by Outsurance. A chance for you to win up to 3,000 Rand in cash. We'll give you 1,000 Rand for the answer, and then someone else will get 2,000 Rand to give us the question. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, you can ask Outsurance for 500 Rand. Remember, of course, you always stand a better chance of being selected, by the way, if you have done exactly that, and that is to SMS out to 45142. Judith is in Pretoria today, and Judith, you have our answer this morning. Please give us the answer. Put us out of our misery.
Morning, Bongani. Today's answer is brandy.
Brandy. Clippies, eh? And Coke.
Yes.
Clippies and Coke. Is that the... No. X-full nonsense. Judith, tell me, have you got yourself a quote from Outsurance?
Yes.
Your biscuit. You've won 1,000 Rand, all thanks to Outsurance and 702. People, you know what I suspect? People send us the answer much more to be called a biscuit than to win that 1,000 Rand. Judith, no matter. Today's answer then is brandy. What's the question? Call us if you know on 011 8830 702.
EWN Sport.
Cindy Paluta, I mean, gosh, what a game. What a game. A friend of mine was reminiscing. Apparently, Benny McCarthy has the most hilarious story about facing up to the likes of Henry, of Patrick Vieira, of Zinedine Zidane in the France 98 World Cup, and just how overwhelming it is. Yes, I get that they're a team, but yeah, with Lionel Messi, I would be intimidated.
I don't know.
But I'm not a professional footballer.
Yeah, I'm not a professional footballer either, but I don't know so much because if you look at the likes of the England side, I mean, they're not, Lionel Messi's GOAT, but they're up there. They all play in the big leagues. They all play in the Premier League. They play in Spanish La Liga.
I mean, as you said the other day, I think it's for the first time that we've seen the top 4 ranked sides all make it into the semis.
Wow. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So, we'll have more for you from Argentina's 2-1 win over England last night in the World Cup desk at the end of this bulletin. But first, there'll be a public memorial service today for Bafana and Mamelodi Sundowns midfielder Jaden Adams, who died on Saturday. The memorial is at the Stellenbosch Town Hall starting at 5 p.m. Golf's 4th and final major of the year is underway at Royal Birkdale. Henny du Plessis will be the first of 8 South Africans to tee off. He starts at 9:15. The defending champion Scotty Scheffler.
Another good week here for the Open. This will be a firmer golf course. It looks like this is the first forecast I can remember seeing that had no rain in it for the whole week. And so if it holds, it should continue to firm up. And, we got some warm weather as well. So it should be a really nice week.
In rugby, Test match referee Amy Barrett-Taron has stood down from officiating to concentrate on treatment for breast cancer. Barrett-Taron was the first woman to referee a men's match in South Africa. Cricket today, India takes a 1-0 lead into the second ODI with England. That starts at 2. Tonight it's level between the West Indies and New Zealand going into a third ODI. Formula 1 this weekend in Spa, where McLaren will run Mercedes' latest spec engine. And they have a new rear wing. McLaren also plans to have more updates next week in Hungary.
The EWN World Cup Desk. The latest scores, the biggest stories, and the moments everyone's talking about.
Well, Argentina once again with a late fight back to keep their World Cup title defense alive, beating England 2-1. Argentina aiming to be the first team since Brazil in 1962 to defend their title, trailed in the 55th minute when Gordon scored. Running out of time, Argentina upped the tempo. Pickford denied Gonzalez. McAllister hit the bar twice. 85 minutes on the clock, and Fernandes with a 20-yard strike that leveled the game. And then 2 minutes into stoppage time,
Messi. Oh, and England are in trouble. And maybe through Lautaro Martinez, they're going out to the semi-final stage. It's been header after header after header.
Martinez won it with a header from Messi's cross. Argentina midfielder Alexis McAllister says England didn't throw it away.
I don't think it was their fault. I think we played a really good second half from the beginning to the end. Even when they scored the first goal, I felt we were in a really good position and we were having the control. But after we brought our Argentinian fire, and maybe they went to a more defensive lineup, but that's football and that's normally the way you defend when you are getting crosses from everywhere.
England captain Harry Kane has no regrets.
What the boys have given to the nation, every bit of running distance, blood, sweat, tears, whatever it's taken, the nights we've had, the tough games we've come through as a group, can only be proud of the boys. Of course, we're all gutted. We all felt like we have enough to get to the final and win, but it's another kick in the teeth. So I spoke before about knocking on the door, we're doing that. We just need to find that missing piece to get over the line.
England will play France on Saturday for third place. Argentina plays Spain in the final on Sunday. Many are accusing Argentina of receiving favourable decisions from referees throughout the tournament. Messi responded to the claims saying, "We're the best in the world after these 4 years, whether people like it or not. Reaching 2 World Cup finals is something few achieve, and this group did it."
In a Z formation, as they say.
And Spain forward Lamine Yamal's home in Barcelona was targeted by burglars in the early hours of Wednesday morning, just hours after Spain's win over France. Yamal's private security team prevented any loss of property. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
From kickoff to the final whistle, this is the EWN World Cup Desk.
EWN Traffic.
That's unbelievable. Why would you they're in the World Cup final, and thieves are going to target their homes anyway.
What was that pause for? Was that necessary?
What's happening on the roads? I can't wrap my head around it. These guys are on national duty. They've reached the World Cup finals, and some thieves are going to target their homes. No, if you've just joined us, we're not talking about a South African player.
Yeah.
We're talking about a Spanish player. What's happening in traffic?
In Kempton Park, there's been an accident on the R21 North. This is just after the R23, and it is causing slight delays. Staying in the east, to look out for a stationary vehicle on the N12 East. This is just before Jet Park Road, and it is affecting the flow of traffic on the right lane. You can also expect delays on the N3 North. This is from Linksfield Road to Modderfontein Road. And if you are heading towards Sandton, there is traffic pressure on the M1 South and Grayston, and this is due to faulty traffic lights. If you come across any other traffic on your side, please do send us So WhatsApp message on 072-702-1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Whether it is a CCMA referral, problems with a mechanic, unfair blacklisting, or an uncontested divorce, Clientele Legal offers professional legal services to all South Africans. Our plans are affordable, and you receive up to 745,000 Rand worth of legal services per year. We cover civil, criminal, and labor-related matters. Our nationwide legal teams are standing by to support you 24 hours a day. Plus, all plans include a 5,000 Rand bail benefit. Join today. SMS LEGAL to 48721. That's legal to 48721. Clientele General is an authorized FSP and licensed non-life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
We asked rugby legend Francois Steyn what he thinks of the all-new Toyota BZ4X. France, would you say the BZ4X is a rugged all-wheel drive SUV?
Yeah.
Cool. Was the acceleration and handling good?
Yeah.
All right. So you think the BZ4X can handle South Africa?
Wat dink jy?
Well, there you have it. The all-new Toyota BZ4X, an all-wheel drive battery electric SUV made to handle South Africa. The BZ4X. It just got real.
702.
What's the question?
For 2,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Outsurance, please tell me what's the question. If the answer is brandy, Genesis, Indonesia, we're not talking Clippies and Coke, eh?
Yes, good morning. What's the name of the American singer and actress who will be performing at the 2026 All-White Soul Sessions in December?
That is indeed the question. Genesis?
I'm gonna put it down.
That is the question.
Thank you.
2,000
Thank
Rand
you.
coming your way. All thanks to
Thank
Outsurance
you.
in 702. Here's a KG remix.
I'm gonna put it down.
If you put it down right, like the way I want it, play it cards right, maybe we could fall in love. If you put it down, if you put it down, if you put it down, maybe we could fall in love.
I'm gonna put it down, you gon' fall in love. I'm gonna put it down, you gon' fall in love.
If you put it down, maybe we could fall in love.
I'm gonna put it down, you gon' fall in love. I'm gonna put it down, you gon' fall in love.
If you put it down, maybe we could fall in love. Oh, your talk game is so tough. Damn, I love it all. Even the way you flex, that's what turns me on. Oh, you know you make me weak, just cause the way you are. Cause everybody in here know that you're a star. And still I'm letting you know I got the sweetest heart. Any man that wants this, babe, he gon' have to work hard. From what I see, you got what I want. That's just half the part. Gotta see what you put on it to make sure you're
Yeah, so the artist that I would like to see come to South Africa is Adele. Adele. I'm not sure if I missed her coming. I have not seen anything out there about her coming to South Africa. There was some fake news late last year sometime that she was coming, but I don't think that was real. But I stand to be corrected, but I would absolutely love to see Adele.
I'm calling you now, just to make it through. What else can I do? Don't you hear my plea? Friends may come and friends may go, but you should know that I've got your back.
save money, you drive to the specific garage where you get fuel rewards. So why not spend 10 minutes getting an OUTsurance car insurance quote like 48-year-old Sylvia, who saves...
I'm saving 802 Rand per month. It came out the best. Drop your old insurance so that you can save a lot of money.
That's a mind-blowing 802 Rand saving on Sylvia's 2019 BMW X1. Do it now. SMS out to 45142. OUTsurance saves 50-year-old Lawrence 309 Rand on his 2025 Volkswagen T-Cross.
309 Rand. I accepted the quote. Didn't shop around. Didn't need to click, click, ring, ring.
Another satisfied OUTsurance client. And with help at Out, you also get benefits like 24/7 roadside assistance and loads more. How much money could OUTsurance save you? SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Licensed insured FSP. TCs and information online. Limits apply.
Don't miss the last week of the Checkers XXL Savings Championship. Get Clover cheese 800 grams, any two for 239 Rand. Gourmet sticky toffee pudding, 450 grams for 49 Rand. And Twin Saver 2-ply or 3-ply toilet rolls, 9 per pack. Buy any two and get a third free. Save 76 Rand. Valid until 19 July. Only at Checkers.
Smart business moves save money. Switch to OUTsurance Business Insurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Here's Stephen from the Villa Rosa.
I was with my previous insurer for 8 years and then I switched to OUTsurance Business Insurance. I'm very happy with the premiums and switching was the best decision we ever made.
Get a quote to switch and save today. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 0600 60,000. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
702.
702. What's gone viral?
With Kabazela.
Time now for the world of viral content. Kabazela.
Good morning to you, Bella.
Is it sibling love or sibling rivalry?
Well, it can be, hey? And I mean, I've seen all kinds of sibling love and rivalry in my 45 years on this planet. And the reason we're talking about this, Bongles, is this video, I think, has made my month. It's such a beautiful video to watch. So it's these two young boys. They have gone on holiday with their grandparents, and they've now decided they're going to sing karaoke at this resort that they're at. And the song they picked is Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. And the song starts, and the older brother's got the microphone, and you can see the two personalities. He's more shy, he's introverted, and the younger brother is extroverted. He's just loving being up there in the spotlights. And he starts dancing, and he's doing all these wonderful moves, the younger brother. And the older brother who's got the mic is now standing there, and he's like very nervous, doesn't want to sing. And the younger brother taps him on the shoulder. He says, come on, man, you got this, you can do this. And then he starts to sing, and he does a really nice job. And the younger brother's still dancing like a legend. And then he still goes and he sings with him and still taps him and just has his back and he encourages him. It was really, really nice to see. So now the question is, when it comes to siblings, you and your siblings, you know, you either have a really good relationship or I suppose you have a really bad relationship. And maybe even when there's issues, you still got each other's back. Well, you would hope that somebody has your back if your sibling has your back if something goes down, right? Or you need support. But there's various kinds of relationships out there with siblings. So I wanted to find out from our 702 family this morning, what's your relationship like with your siblings? Maybe you've got multiple siblings, but you're very close to the one and not so close to the other. And maybe there's a moment that you can sort of remember when you were younger or now as adults, that one time, you know, I don't know, let's say Tabo was having a go at you and your sibling was there and had your back. Let's talk about those this morning if you have any.
I heard the most beautiful description about sibling relationships where the speaker said that your siblings are the people who are likely to know you the most throughout the arc of your life, because your parents know you for a certain period, and presumably, of course, they'll be gone at some point, so they won't know you in your old age, for example. If you have a significant other, this is somebody you meet quite later on in life. They won't have sight of your childhood, for example, in most circumstances, but it's your sibling who is there through most of that journey, beginning in childhood and hopefully long into old age. And so that's the person who really, really knows you the most and has been the longest witness to your life. And I thought that was quite a great way of looking at sibling relationships. All right?
That is a nice way, yeah.
You don't just like one, you like two, you like three, you like four.
I mean, are you like this? So if you like a pair of sneakers, you will get multiple pairs of those, or every time you need to replace them, you will go and get that specific sneaker.
Yeah.
And let's just listen to the clip because the clip explains it so well. She's talking about her boyfriend. Let's take a listen.
He's a 10 out of 10, but when his shoes get all dirty, he goes to the mall and buys the exact same pairs of shoes, same size, same style, same color, same everything. And then the dirty ones just get downgraded to shoes that he uses when he's like doing dirty things like doing landscaping or like working or taking the garbage out or like they all do it. They all do it.
For me, it's Supagas.
Yeah.
They get downgraded. So, like, I mean, I have multiple pairs, and then when the one starts, the rubber on the side starts to tear away from the material, then I'll start wearing those, and I don't care too much about them. Then I'll get them dirty in the wear them in the garden or whatever it may be. So, what's it for you?
All right, I'm one of those people. If I find something I like, and there's available options, say in different colors, I might have one or two of those if I found something that I like. Are you the same? You find something you like, do you buy multiples of that same item at the same time, or do you want to just go to that particular product when it's time to replace it? So you either buy them all at the same time, or you always make sure, even if you've got one, you replace it when it's time to do so.
702
Feedback
with Siamtanda Matiso.
Siamtanda Matiso, you're a bit of a lot Lamaki, if I remember correctly. So your siblings, much older than you.
Yes.
So what does that mean for your relationship?
I don't have much of a close relationship with them because they're much older than them. I feel like I'm still too scared to share much with them because I see them as Usisi or Uputi that is way older than me. To the point that I think I overshare with my mom more than with my siblings.
Than the deputy parents.
Exactly. And because they were stricter. But also I have a conversation that is more adult now, which is also strange. I can argue with them, which is also strange because they're way older than me. You don't argue with people that are older than you. So yeah, it's a weird relationship.
You should tell them that you can do it well now because you do it all the time with me.
Oh, wow.
What other feedback do you have?
Lots of reaction, especially when it comes to Northwest businessman Suleiman Karim. Many people are saying, actually, the Madanga Commission's decision to subpoena the doctors to come and explain.
The shopping center.
Yes.
The shopping center, because they want to see the footage.
They want to see the footage of Karim being there in Woolies, and many people are saying,
if it's really him.
Woolies, Mara. It seems like everyone is getting caught there. Maybe we should look more on Woolies.
Maybe they should have gone to
videos.
ShopRite, eh?
Yes. But many people are saying, actually, this might be a crackdown because many people have been using medical reasons to not testify at the Madanga Commission. So this might be a way to see whether they're lying or not. But also you asked that question, what is that thing in the beginning of the relationship where you're like, this might cause a problem in our relationship?
Later on. Those lines you shouldn't cross early on.
Exactly. Many people are saying, listen, posting you on social media will not be the thing for me because majority of the time I post you and then you embarrass me. You cheat on me or you do the most. Some are saying I won't be sharing or lending you my car because you might damage it in the long run and you might think this is the thing. You know what I mean? Also lending money, it's introducing a tradition that maybe you might not be able to keep up with. So I can't wait to hear more of that and those items that people buy.
Yeah, we'll tell you about that story that prompted that particular conversation. A nurse in Klerksdorp at 52 years old, retired and cashed in on her retirement, giving it to a fairly new lover, and the money is gone forever. What are those lines you shouldn't cross early on in the relationship? It's 8 o'clock.
This is EWN.
A case involving former Metro cops in the alleged theft of precious stones is back in court, and Ramaphosa disputes some facts contained in a report giving rise to impeachment proceedings. Good morning, I am Sfiso Zulu. 3 suspects accused in an alleged 14.9 million rand precious stones robbery in 2013 are expected to apply for bail in the Johannesburg Magistrates Court this morning. The trio has been in custody for more than a week after handing themselves in. The 2 former Ekurhuleni Metro officers and a businesswoman are facing charges including robbery with aggravating circumstances and fraud. The arrests follow testimony at the Madlanga Commission by Witness K, who implicated suspended EMPD Deputy Chief Julius Mkhwanazi in the alleged robbery. Demakatsa Leshuro reports.
Former EMPD officers Adrian McKenzie and Kisha Lee Stolz, together with businessman Etienne van der Veld, are facing charges including robbery with aggravating circumstances. The state alleges that the 3 robbed Peter Prinsloo in Killarney of 6 boxes containing high-grade sergilite and manganese stones collectively valued at 14.9 million rand. Stolz, who allegedly evaded arrest for several days before handing herself over to police last week, may face even more scrutiny during her bail application. The state is expected to oppose bail for all 3 accused. Meanwhile, Mkhwanazi has not been criminally charged in connection with the case. Dimakatso Leshoro, Eyewitness News.
Proceedings in President Cyril Ramaphosa's case challenging Parliament from impeachment action against him continues for a second day in the Western Cape High Court. Ramaphosa says he doesn't believe any harm will be done in holding off the process for a few more months until the court has considered the report which has triggered the inquiry. His lawyer, Wim Trengrove, yesterday argued that Ramaphosa is entitled to protection from the court because the process is demeaning. But opposition parties argue the president is trying to evade accountability. Lindsay Dentlinger has more.
President Cyril Ramaphosa is disputing that the evidence contained in a report compiled under the leadership of former Chief Justice Sandile Ngcobo is sufficient to give rise to impeachable charges against him. Advocate Wim Trengrove has told the court that the president's reputation would be harmed and he would be publicly humiliated if he were to face an inquiry on spurious charges.
It is a scant price if the risk to which you expose the president without that protection is that he be publicly pilloried as a president who committed a grievous offence.
But Judge Andre Lechransi, one of 3 hearing the case, put it to Trengrove that former President Nelson Mandela once appeared in court in a matter involving the SA Rugby Union. Lechransi questioned whether the impeachment process may in fact exonerate rather than humiliate the president. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News.
Vehicle tracking company CarTrack says it's waiting for external reports before finalizing its internal investigation into the death of an employee. The company says its probe is at an advanced stage nearly 2 months after Gcina Dladla died at the Rosebank headquarters. Dladla had reportedly told her supervisor she was unwell but was allegedly refused permission to go home, claims the company continues to deny. Labour Minister Nomakosazana Myth spoke to CarTrack CEO Joshua Victor during an oversight visit yesterday. Kosikona Malingamnisi was there.
CarTrack's investigation is running alongside the Labour Department's 90-day probe. The department says it has appointed specialists to conduct an extensive fact-finding investigation into Gcina Dladla's death. Minister Nomakosazana Myth says the investigation will determine whether there is any causal link between allegations of unfair treatment in the workplace and Dladla's passing. CarTrack Chief Executive Officer Joshua Victor has welcomed the department's investigation, saying he's confident it will clear the company of any wrongdoing.
We've done thorough investigations and we're looking forward to the findings from the Department of Labour and the investigations, which will show that the allegations in the media aren't true.
Meth has also confirmed that no notice of any labour violations has been issued to CarTrack at this stage. Kosikona Malingamnisi, Eyewitness News.
And Russian strikes on Kyiv have killed at least 2 people and wounded 5 others, including a child. Ukrainian emergency services say the attack happened after explosions rocked the capital shortly after midnight. The attack is the latest in Russia's nearly daily strikes on Ukrainian cities as Moscow presses its invasion, which is now in its 5th year. The attack came a few hours after European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen's visit to Ukraine to boost defense ties.
I'm delighted
to launch, together with you, Volodymyr, a new EU-Ukraine defense industrial partnership. What we are signing today is our very own drone deal. This deal will bring together Ukrainian ingenuity and Europe's industrial scale.
Gold is trading at $4,035.16 an ounce. The rand is at 16.34 to the dollar, 22.11 to the pound, 18.73 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $84.75 a barrel.
In the traffic in Waterkloof, there's been an accident on the N1 South just before Rigel Avenue, and it is causing slight delays. Also look out for that stationary vehicle on the N12 East just before Jet Park as it continues to slow down traffic.
And in your sport, Argentina beat England 2-1. Will play France in the World Cup final on Sunday night. Golf's fourth and final major of the year, the Open, is underway at Royal Birkdale. And the All Blacks have made 4 changes for Saturday's Nations Championship clash with Ireland.
A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 21 and 23 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. 3 suspects accused in an alleged 14.9 million rand precious stones robbery are expected to apply for bail in the Johannesburg Magistrates Court this morning.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
On Sunday, 26 July, 7:02 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk unites us all in the iconic Joburg CBD.
7:02
Walk the Talk. Abize bonke. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
What's the rush? What's the hurry? That was the argument made by President Ramaphosa's lawyers in that case, seeking to challenge Parliament's impeachment action against him. The president's lawyer saying if that is allowed to continue, it will do irreparable harm and it may humiliate him, not least, of course, because if, say, by September, the courts overturn the initial report, Section 89 report, that said he had a case to answer in the first place, by then it'll be too late. His reputation would have been harmed irreparably. Parliament says, how? Mandela went to court. He sat in the witness box. He was cross-examined as a sitting president. How? How are you going to be harmed by this? The Apex Court said, unless and until, who are we to override the highest court in the land? Which way do you think it will go?
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Yet another romance scam. We asked you a little earlier on, are there lines people should not cross at the start of a new relationship? Lending money to a new lover, sharing passwords, looking at each other's messages and who's in those DMs. Is that something you need to take your time before you consider moving in together? We have to test drive this relationship and see what it would look like. Is that something that you shouldn't do you think? Introducing them to your wider circle, your friends, your family, posting them on your socials. Are those lines that are crossed too quickly by some? It comes in the wake of a search by the Hawks of 3 men who are alleged to be at the center of a romance scam. A Klerksdorp nurse cashed in her retirement savings because her new boyfriend told her that he'd just come into money. They were going to be rich, you see. She was going to be in the pound seats. 14 million rand he was due to inherit. But, and here's the kicker, there were some rituals that needed to be performed to make sure the will was cleansed, whatever that means. And so she gave up her pension. She cashed her pension, gave it to this man. And as you can work out, she's never seen a red cent of it, nor him. And now the police are looking out for him. Did she do so too soon? Or do we just miss that some people are toxic that way? Montel, I know people who've had lifelong partnerships, marriages, and they've been together for years. Kanti. There's a gambling problem. The house is sold and she or he doesn't know. Is it about how soon you meet someone, or is it just about who they are?
Man, 2 million, I'm not sure, guys. A few months in, I'm not sure. 2 million is a lot to ask for someone. Now they have to resign, cash out their pension. I mean, what was going on?
And his name wasn't even Jude Bellingham.
Yeah, Bongani, man, I am not in a dating scene just yet. Bongani. But I'm getting negative signals when I look at what I'm facing tomorrow. Bongani, I initially thought that being stable, focused, transparent, and predictable are a norm in my world. But I'm picking signals that in the dating world, what I'm seeing, those are not basics anymore. People want to maintain their secrets. They don't want to be transparent. They don't want to be predictable. Bongani, it's a mess out there. I'm like, I'm taking it out. I'm pausing.
Kamazan also wants to know about your sibling relationship. Can you think of a moment when your sibling was the person you needed most and who showed up? Or do you have more of a sibling rivalry? If you come from a larger family, are the siblings to whom you are close and others perhaps not so much? Are you a twin? And does that give you a special relationship? I spoke a little earlier, Mateo, about a thing I saw which I thought was just the most beautiful tribute to sibling love. And what the speaker says is that your parents will only know you for the start of your life. They won't be there for your old age. And your significant other will only likely know you, hopefully, for the rest of your life. They won't have been there for the start of it. But it's only the sibling who is there for most of the arc of your journey, from beginning to finish. Isn't that absolutely fantastic?
It's absolutely true. You know, they're the people that watch you right from the beginning. Your struggles, your stumbles as you try to walk if they're an older sibling, and you know, as you go through puberty and the things you go through, and you probably fight with each other. But as you grow older, your aspirations, backing each other's dreams and being there for graduations, for first jobs. Some of them even teach you how to drive. You know, it's all those things that even at old age as siblings, you're like, hey, look at us, man.
Rolling your eyes at your second and third marriage, but
Yes.
there anyway.
I'll be there anyway.
So do you have a good relationship with your siblings?
I have a lovely relationship with my siblings. I was actually going to say it's quite interesting when you're the firstborn because you're always the one that they run to. So very seldom is it that you're the one that runs to them, you know. But recently, my little brother was involved in an accident. And when we got the call, I was shaking. And my little sister, who's the last born, she is the most calmest person ever. And she's very young. She's like 13. And she just kept saying, calm down. And thank God for her that I could drive to the scene because she was by my side the whole time, just saying,
And was your brother okay?
My brother is alive. Thank you.
He's okay.
Fine. He's okay. Thank you.
Because alive.
No, no, he arrived alive.
King, you're in Centurion. You want to talk about sibling love?
Yes, Bongs. For me, and I don't want to lie to you, I had a good relationship with my brothers when I was young. They taught me how to even kick the ball and all that. But as we grow and you attain things that like look impossible, they change, Bongs. I in my mom's house, I'm the first one to attain a PhD and become a professor and all that. But you know, when during meetings, you can't expect me to just listen. Now I must give my opinion. I must, you know, oppose or agree, and I must question things. But they find it hard that I'm no longer the child or the kid that they used to mentor, and it's difficult for them to accept it, and it pains me.
Yeah, indeed. It can change. The sibling relationship can start off well, but I'm afraid it doesn't always end that way.
Hi, Bongs. So with regards to what Kabazela was saying with regards to the siblings and rivalry, funny enough, I was at my dentist yesterday in Node, and to my surprise, I found out that he's a dentist, his brother's a dentist, his sister is a medical doctor, so they share one facility. And his other two siblings, the one is an engineer, and the other one is a cybersecurity engineer at Investec. So I don't know if that's just in terms of competitiveness or if that's a sibling rivalry, but amazing. And that, funny enough, that was yesterday. John from Auckland Park.
Bongs, this is Titus again from Johannesburg. Kabezala's question this morning. I've got multiple siblings, family of 6 and all that. This thing, the U.S. Marine says all in, all out. They would never leave a soldier behind. That's how I can describe my own relationship with my sibling. All in, all out. We got one another's back, no matter the situation, no matter
destination reached. Morning, Bongos. So when I was in primary school, I had a fight with a transport mate of mine. I can't remember what we were fighting over, but our brothers eventually stepped in, both our brothers. And I remember my brother won the third fight. Fast forward, whatever years later, I'm much bigger than my brother now, body-wise. So I do most of the defending this time. Sandele from Vereeniging.
Love it, love it, love it. Keep them coming. 072-702-1702. The other one, Kabas, that I wanted to know, Muteo, is if you find a pair or any product you like, do you buy quite a lot of them? Or are you one of those people who, when you do find something you like, you'll always replace it? So you found the jacket that you think is the best fit. Do you get it in different colors all at once? Or do you make sure you always have that type of jacket in your wardrobe? When the other one wears out, you replace it.
With clothing, if it's a really great one that I like, I'll buy the one and take care of it. So I'll never buy another one in another color. But with things that I like, maybe if I'm into a certain type of biscuit, then I'll buy like 5 boxes of it because I'm going through it at the time. Then I'll buy multiples of it. If it's like buying in bulk for things that I like and I indulge in, definitely. Not as much clothing or shoes.
I got 3 pairs of Croc boots.
Yeah, in different colors, we know.
Black, beige, and yellow. So you shouldn't be laughing that hard.
I would never.
Shouldn't. Do you do that?
Give me
do
one.
You buy multiples?
At least. Give
multiples?
Me one.
It's not the same size. Do you buy multiples of the same thing? Or do you make sure you replace your favorite?
No, I'm too lazy. I just buy one thing and live with it for the rest of my life. But you do have those 3 scarves. So if you could just give me one. I'm trying to get you to agree on A so that I have witnesses. Will you?
18 after 8. I think we should go to traffic.
Let's talk.
We're listening.
Hi, good morning, Bongani. Oh, you nailed it with Sade. Oh, that is someone I would have loved for her to come and perform. And the other one I would have so loved would have been Tupac. But yeah, it is what it is.
Good morning, Bongani and the team. This is Aubrey from Acacia. The groups or singers that I need to see them perform in South Africa still is Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, baby. I really demand that they come. Thank you. Great show, Bongani.
Morning, Bongani and the team. Oh, I would love to see Gogo or Gladys Knight. Oh, I love her so much. Oh my goodness, I'll be the first person to buy that ticket. Oh, Gladys Knight. Oh, especially when she's performing that song, Love Has Pictures. Oh my goodness, I love her so much. Have a wonderful day, Bongani. Love you guys. Bye.
We were asking, of course, because Brandy is coming to South Africa in December, the R&B soul singer. Is there an artist that you, as far as you know, has yet to perform in this country that you would like to see? Top of my list would be Sade. This is a person who hasn't. Somebody suggested Adele earlier. Bruce Springsteen. I think that moment has passed for me. Do you know what I mean? When he was dancing in the dark, absolutely. Yeah. Now, it's the oath.
I don't know if has Erykah Badu been to South Africa?
Yeah.
I didn't watch that show. If she would, I definitely.
You should have called Tyrone. Joe in Santon.
Hey, Bongani, how are you?
I'm very good. Joe, go ahead.
Sibling love, a challenge I have for 702 guidance. So we are all brothers at home. We love each other. We all got married. Our wives are fighting, and now that has pulled the brothers apart. What do we do?
Ay. Family counseling. Get group counseling. Get an independent referee. Joe?
Yeah.
Get an
to
independent
get all the
referee.
brothers in the way.
Yeah. That's a difficult one. That's a difficult one when the spouses are part of the reason you no longer get along. Keep them coming. We'll take more of your calls and your voice notes.
EWN Traffic.
Now, this EWN Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. Khomotso, you were telling us about issues on the N1 South in Pretoria, right? This is the Waterkloof area. What's going on?
Say it's so lovely, Waterkloof. Yes, in Waterkloof, there's been an accident on the N1 South just before Rigel Avenue, and it is causing slight delays, so please approach that area with caution. There has also been an accident on the N3 North just before the Batlu interchange, slowing down traffic from Vincent Shabalala Road. If you are heading towards Sandton, there's traffic pressure on the M1 South and Grayston Drive, and it is due to those faulty traffic lights. And further down in Parktown, there's also slow-moving traffic on the M1 South. This is from the Kilani Bend to Jan Smuts Avenue. I'll have more updates in just a bit.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
45 minutes playing board games with the family goes by quickly, but 45 minutes stuck in traffic, well, that just drags on. Fortunately, the Outsurance pointsmen are here to save the day. These heroes in green and purple, easing traffic congestion for the past 20 years. The Outsurance pointsmen helping you get to where you need to be quickly and safely. Just another way you always get something out in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
702, The World View.
With Adam Gilchrist.
Adam Gilchrist, a very good morning to you. It is the morning after the night before. I hope you're not as bruised. Your heart is not as bruised as one might suspect. England versus Argentina didn't go your way.
No, it didn't exactly work out for England in the end, although, 55 minutes taking the lead and then keeping the lead for half an hour. A lot of questions about whether England was simply too negative and whether Thomas Tuchel did what his predecessor, Gareth Southgate, did and just went ultra defensive, went ahead in a match, and it did not pay off, as we now know. Argentina, in the end, were the better team, had more chances, hit the post twice. There were some great saves from Jordan Pickford in the England goal. But you looked at that final formation and thought, I don't even know who's playing at left back because there was nobody standing there and nobody marking Lionel Messi when he got the telling cross in. We can carp all we like. Argentina were worthy winners. We're probably going to support Spain in the final. I think there's a sort of slight feeling that in that first half, there probably should have been a few yellow cards for a few Argentine players. I felt the referee was a tad lenient, shall we say. But overall, ultimately, do you know what? Semi-finals don't come along all the time, and this particular England outfit has now been in 4 semi-finals in 5 tournaments. So overall, we're not exactly devastated, but we're, I think actually in the words of Prince William, we are officially gutted. So hope still springs eternal. We've got a 3rd place match against France. Yay!
When that happens for the South African cricket men's team, the C word is often brought up. I wonder if it will soon be brought up for the English men's senior side, Adam Gilchrist. It must have been particularly stinging, of course, when the Argentinian players unfurled that banner about the Falkland Islands. Let's talk now about an American scientist arrested and held in China.
Chen Yulin, who has Chinese family and was visiting them in Beijing in November 2024 and got arrested on espionage charges. Chen Yulin is a seismologist who charts earthquakes and tremors, and sometimes earthquakes and tremors triggered by nuclear tests. His family is only now speaking out and only revealing that he's been arrested because they feel all the other avenues have been closed off to them. So 18 months on, Chen is still being questioned, or at least is still locked up by the Chinese authorities in Beijing. The deal is he published details on North Korea's underground nuclear tests. North Korea is a long-term ally of China. They're not quite hand in glove, but they're pretty matey. Could he also, therefore, have charted China's own nuclear test program, secret tests, which China denies? So, of course, obviously, they're probably not happening, are they? Let's say alleged tests. But this is a tricky one, isn't it? Because seismologists, by their very job description, have to listen in on stuff. So to get arrested for listening in on stuff is a tiny bit rich, isn't it?
Talk to me, Adam, about a heatwave strike, an unlikely one, I would think.
Yeah, it is. We got the European Trade Union Institute research saying that 130 million European workers are suffering heat stress in the workplace each year. Now, that's one thing. Yeah, our continent's heating up, so is yours. Our summers are getting hotter and longer and so forth, and sometimes things get wetter and stormier. But what they're saying is it's the lack of social safety nets that's the problem. So lo and behold, in Italy, bike and bicycle delivery riders, whether they're bike, scooter, bicycles, whatever, they've gone on strike in several Italian cities because they feel that there's a lack of care for them in temperatures hitting 40, even 45 degrees. In fact, teachers in France went on strike, or certainly threatened strike action, for a similar understanding. Look, move the classroom hours or get some air conditioning or something. The only thing is with bikes buzzing about in cities in the middle of the day when it's hot is that you get a breeze, don't you? Isn't that lovely to get the breeze? Unlike, say, being stuck in a traffic jam, which generally speaking, bikes, bicycles and scooters are not. But also, will the good people of Italy notice if they can't get a delivered hot pizza at noon? You'd think there are other questions to address, but there again, we haven't had to think long and hard about extra hot and extra long heat waves, and we're certainly beginning to do it now.
I suppose nobody will be ordering ice cream for delivery. Adam Gilchrist with this morning's Worldview.
EWN Business.
27 after 8 business news now, wrapping up the morning's business with Muteo Haripa. The US slapping Brazil with 25% tariffs. They say it's because of unfair trade practices. I wonder if it has anything to do with the very outspoken Brazilian president. Muteo?
Of course, the US has imposed 25% tariffs on most imports from Brazil, effective next week, concluding a year-long investigation into what Washington calls unfair trade practices. The move has reignited tensions with the South American nation after trade negotiations fell apart. The tariff will apply to most imports from Brazil, with exemptions for certain goods such as beef, orange juice, aircraft and parts, and energy products. Now, the fresh tariffs come after the Supreme Court in February struck down President Donald Trump's previous 50% levies on Brazilian goods, keeping in place only a 10% global tariff. Now, Trump has sought to reinstate his tariff power by launching Section 301 probes, which allow him to impose levies on countries found to have engaged in unfair trade practices, doing so without additional congressional approval. So basically, running it solo.
Noom says there has to be another way.
There has to be another way, especially to save jobs. The National Union of Mine Workers says De Beers should consider other options before pausing operations for 2 years at its Venetia mine in Limpopo. The company has issued a Section 189A notice beginning a consultation process that could impact 1,134 employees at the Venetia mine and another 80 workers at De Beers' Sightholder Sales South Africa. Now, De Beers has been struggling with natural diamond sales and prices dropping in recent years. Diamond values have fallen roughly 33%. Prices for smaller stones have plunged by up to 50%, and De Beers' rough diamond sales volumes also dropping 28% year on year. Now, the NUM says De Beers has known about the challenges facing the diamond industry for some time now and should have consulted workers before announcing possible retrenchments. The union is calling on the company to explore alternatives such as retraining workers, job-saving measures, and cutting management costs instead of laying off workers.
Your indicators, where's the rand?
Rand at this hour, 16.33 against the US dollar, 18 Rand 73 against the euro, 22 Rand 11 cents against the British pound. Price of gold is down by 0.5% at $4,033 an ounce, while platinum is also lower at $1,669. Brent crude now at $84 a barrel. More from Stephen Grootes later this afternoon.
Time now for your latest eyewitness news and maybe some laughs with Dan Corder coming up.
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. The High Court in Johannesburg has temporarily stopped the city and Mayor Dada Morero from demolishing structures at Marble Towers in the CBD. The order follows an urgent application by the building's owner, Goldenrod Group, after city officials began raising illegal structures around the property yesterday. The court ruled that the city may not carry out demolitions, restrict access, or use law enforcement agencies at that site until an urgent hearing is concluded. The dispute stems from claims that illegal trading continues there despite an earlier court order requiring the owner to secure the building. Morero says they remain committed to reclaiming the inner city and has warned against the putting up of illegal structures.
And we are removing all illegal structures here, and we'll be moving to other precincts. And we want to send a message to those that are still having illegal structures that we are coming, we are going to deal with those illegal structures and demolish.
The NPA says the 10-year prison sentence handed to convicted fraudster Jermaine Prim sends a clear message that criminals operating from behind bars will be punished. Prim made headlines earlier this year after an unauthorized TV prison interview in which he made allegations against Sports Minister Gayton McKenzie of acting as a drug cartel proxy. The Specialized Commercial Crimes Court sitting in Palmbridge sentenced Prim yesterday for masterminding a fraud scheme that stole a Mercedes-Benz worth 800,000 rand. Prim was arrested nearly 8 years ago while on parole and still faces 4 other criminal cases that have yet to be finalized. Kosikona Malingamnisi reports.
Jermaine Prim was convicted for posing as a Mercedes-Benz employee while serving time at the Johannesburg Correctional Centre. The court heard Prim called the complainant manipulated the caller ID to display a legitimate Mercedes-Benz number and convinced the vehicle owner that his car needed to be collected for repairs. His co-accused, Clayton Bowes, arrived wearing Mercedes-Benz branded clothing to collect the vehicle, but was arrested in a police sting operation before he could drive away. Investigators recovered the cell phone used in the scam from Prim's prison cell after he allegedly tried to flush it down a toilet. Evidence linked him directly to the fraud, with the court finding he was the mastermind behind the scheme. Eyewitness News.
NPO Women and Men Against Child Abuse is calling for the swift sentencing of convicted child sex offender Ian Wares. This follows the postponement of pre-sentencing trial in the Wynberg Magistrates Court yesterday due to his illness. The 86-year-old former teacher was convicted in March for assaulting a grade 5 learner at Rondebosch Boys Primary School in 1998. Although he remains out on bail, the NPA says a warrant for his arrest is pending. Marinda Jordan of Women and Men Against Child Abuse has criticized the decision to keep Wares on bail.
What we are pleased to see is that Magistrate Mickey has only allowed 6 days, and then we are back in court for pre-sentencing.
And France has moved closer to joining the ranks of countries that guarantee the right to assisted dying for adults suffering from an incurable condition. This move has been championed by President Emmanuel Macron. Macron had promised such a law when he was re-elected for a second term in 2022. This is a change seen as one of the most important social reforms since France allowed same-sex marriage in 2012. If the country's highest constitutional authority approves the legislation, France will join the Netherlands, Belgium, Switzerland and Canada in legalizing assisted dying. A fine day in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures will peak at highs between 21 and 23.
The traffic in Boysons expect heavy delays on the M1 North from Goldrift City to the Crown Interchange, and the accident that was on the N3 North just before the Petlu Interchange has been cleared.
The top story this hour, the High Court in Johannesburg has temporarily stopped the city and the mayor from demolishing structures at Marble Towers.
The Midday Report.
Weekdays,
12 to 1.
Kat Matlala, the underworld kingpin, was supposed to testify, much anticipated, but it has not happened. And that's because his legal team has brought an application for a postponement. Pretty hectic argument. If you were listening, Annelie van der Merwe is the advocate for Kat Matlala. And she was the advocate for Radovan Krejcir for a long time. So I've watched her argue in court often for applications. It's just her way. Even at the end, she was saying, to Judge Madlanga, I wasn't shouting at you. It's just how I am. I talk loudly. It's very, very passionate. But essentially what his legal team is saying is that he's got a criminal trial to deal with. He doesn't want to criminally implicate himself by testifying, so he's agreed to give an affidavit to the Madlanga inquiry, to depose to an affidavit, and then he'll come back again in September.
The Midday Report
with Mandy Wiener.
12 to 1 on 702.
702.
Last week on The Masked Singer South Africa, Lady Monster's journey came to an end when she was unmasked as the actress Linda Mthoba. Now, the best part was that not a single one of the detectives saw it coming. So, this Saturday, 4 brand new masks take to the stage. Sushi, clock, spinach, and pineapple. Listen carefully, because every detail will bring you one step closer to guessing who's behind the mask. Catch a brand new episode of The Masked Singer South Africa this Saturday at 7 p.m. on SABC2. You can also watch the repeat on Thursday at 9 p.m. on SABC1 and on Friday at 1:30 p.m. on SABC2.
She says I'm Mr. Romantic. Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. Don't take these beautiful things that I've got.
Hi, this is Teko Modise, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. Be a winner who knows when it's time for a timeout and play responsibly. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling Toll-Free Counseling Line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No person under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
Imagine if you could save time like you save money. A second here, a minute there. Type a little faster, walk a little faster. Or you could stop scrolling on the internet. Just think of all the hours you'll save. Now, what if you could take all that time and invest it? Watch it grow. Until eventually, one day, you'd have so much time that you wouldn't know what to do with it all. But unfortunately, time doesn't work like that. It can't be stored or banked. And unlike money, you can't make it back. That's why after 50 years of investing, we've learned that time is the greatest gift of all. And the good news is, if you invest early, time gives you money. And then money gives you more time to do whatever you want to do, even if it is scrolling on the internet. Ellen Gray, long-term investing. Ellen Gray is an authorized FSP. 702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Hi, 702 Land. I'm not sure if other listeners feel the same, but I'm quite tired of the courts continuously upholding the rights of lawbreakers. You know, it's just disgusting, and it's getting really frustrating for taxpayers. We keep footing bills for things, and these guys don't pay, they don't uphold the law. And here they have rights so that marble towers will not have illegal structures being demolished. You build one wall that's illegal and they'll come and make you pull it down. But these guys have rights. It's just ridiculous. Something's wrong with this constitution. It seems to protect the wrong people, and I'm not sure how we fix it. Can the legal guys please tell us how to fix this so it doesn't keep looking like the taxpayers and the innocent citizens bear the brunt of everything while the lawbreakers get away with these things? Thank you. It's Sanjay. Bye.
Sanjay, that's the story Eyewitness News is running. The High Court in Joburg temporarily stopping the city of Joburg and its mayor, Dada Morero, from demolishing structures at Marble Towers in the CBD. The order follows an urgent application by the building's owner after the city officials began raising illegal structures around the property. This, of course, is all happening despite an earlier court ruling. In fact, despite an earlier court ruling requiring the owner of the building to secure the building. Have a listen to what the mayor said about this yesterday.
We have been telling you to remove your stuff. We have been telling you. Only 1 hour. We have been telling you to remove your stuff. You think we are joking? You never tell us. How many times did I tell you? I walked here. Me myself. I know. No, me I know what I was here. All of I was not here. Just myself. I demolished.
So the owner was told, sort this out or else. There was a court order that agreed that he needed to sort it out or else. And so when they came to demolish the illegal structures, he filed an urgent interdict. And the court has said, no, stop demolishing. So you have to also wonder, how much do the owners of these buildings and even slumlords benefit from that mess?
EWN Sport.
Cindy Paluta, let's talk the world of sport. What's the biggest story?
You know, Bongani. Yeah.
We're not getting a public holiday on the 19th. Remember in the start of the tournament, the president said if we lift the trophy.
If Bafana won the World Cup, we would need a month off.
Yeah, no.
We would, but I bet.
We'd forgive everyone.
But sadly.
Madlanga would walk away and say, I forgive everyone.
You're forgetting that sadly, you and I would be stuck here reporting on the fact that everybody's off for a month. Yes. So technically, we would not get the month off.
We would still be working,
yeah. So Argentina will play Spain in the FIFA World Cup final on Sunday. The defending champions once again coming from a goal down, scoring 2 goals in the closing 5 minutes to beat England 2-1. England led through Gordon. After that, Pickford denied Gonzalez. McAllister twice hit the post. The 85th minute is when the game turned in Argentina's favour. Fernandez with a sublime goal. And 7 minutes later, Martinez with the winner, Argentina's Alexis McAllister.
I don't think it was their fault. I think we played a really good second half from the beginning to the end. Even when they scored the first goal, I felt we were in a really good position and we were having the control. But after we brought our Argentinian fire, and maybe they went to a more defensive lineup, but that's football, and that's normally the way you defend when you are getting crosses from everywhere.
People online quick to remind us that Argentina was the first top 10 side that England faced this tournament. Golf's fourth and final major of the year is underway at Royal Birkdale. German Thomas Dertry has the early lead on 1 under through 3 holes, 1 ahead of the field. Henny du Plessis, the first South African to tee off at 9:15. The All Blacks made 4 changes to face Ireland. Sam Darry's dropped, replaced by Josh Lord. Tua Pilatus at lock as Vai moves to blindside. At centre, Tupai replaces Proctor. On the left wing, Morby starts for the injured Leroy Carter. Ireland have never beaten the All Blacks at Eden Park. New Zealand coach Dave Rennie.
Yeah, look, it's been a fortress, but what's happened in the past counts for little. It's about us making sure we get our prep right and mindset right, play against an Irish side who, last time they toured this country, they won a series. There's a healthy amount of respect for the Irish and well aware of their ability, and they'll come in genuinely believe they can beat us.
And international cricket today, India takes a 1-0 lead into today's second ODI with England at 2 p.m. And tonight it's level between the West Indies and New Zealand going into the third ODI of the 5-match series. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
What I love about this year's 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk is that it's taking people back into the Joburg CBD. And for people to be able to see the work that Josie My Josie has been doing and how they've been fixing up the city. I'm so excited for people to see that. You should take part in this year's Walk the Talk, because if you haven't been into the Joburg CBD in a long time because you're worried about safety, about crime, it's an incredible opportunity for you to go and see what's been happening in the Joburg CBD, what Josie My Josie has been doing, what the residents of Joburg have been doing. This year, I'm going to take part in the Walk the Talk because I can't wait to see the reaction of people when they go back to the Joburg CBD. And to just feel that energy and feel the pulse of the city, and for people to return and for the city to be rejuvenated and for people to want to get involved in being part of that. To enter the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, go to primemediaplus.com. I'll see you on the streets.
Residents are reminded that Rand Water will undertake the second and final phase of its planned maintenance on the 17th of July from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And during these 12 hours, several Joburg water systems may experience poor pressure or no water. Residents are encouraged to store water in advance, using it sparingly during the maintenance period. Systems affected will include Sandton, Midrand, Randburg, Roodepoort, Soweto, Lenasia, Orange Farm and surrounding systems. For updates, follow Johannesburg Water communication channels. Brought to you by Johannesburg Water, a water and sanitation utility that cares.
The countdown to Food Forward SA's Mandela Day Packing Event 2026 has begun. Join us Friday, 17 July, and spend your 67 minutes making a real difference. Together, we'll pack and sort groceries that will feed thousands of people facing food insecurity across South Africa. Be part of the action. Tickets are on sale now at webtickets.co.za. Food Forward SA, securing quality food, nourishing lives, in association with 702.
Cutting costs means more money for your business. Switch to Outsurance Business Insurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Here's Marshall from Bow Electrical.
I was with my other insurance for many years and then I switched to Outsurance Business Insurance. It was a one quick call. They gave me a great cover and a great price. Give them a call. You have nothing to lose. I wish I have switched sooner.
Get a quote to switch and save today. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 0600 60,000. Licensed insurer in FSP. TCs and information online.
EWN Traffic. Let's wrap up the morning's traffic.
Thank you, Bongs. In Boysons, you can expect heavy delays on the M1 North from Goldrift City to the Crown Interchange. Not quite sure what's happening there, but maybe you can come tell me. Staying with the Crown Interchange, there has been an accident on the M2 West, and it is causing delays coming from Heidelberg Road. And lastly, in Waterkloof, the accident that was on the N1 South just before Rigel Avenue has been cleared. Yay! But traffic remains just a little bit slow, so maybe a little bit of patience there. I'll have more updates at the top of the hour.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Joburg, it's time to show up for our city. On Sunday, 26 July, thousands of Joburgers in the Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, proudly partnered by Standard Bank, walk through the heart of Johannesburg, celebrate its rich history, and experience the exciting growth taking place in the CBD. As a committed partner invested in the future of our city, Standard Bank invites you to be a part of a movement helping build a stronger, safer, and more vibrant Josie. Register today. The 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, proudly partnered by Standard Bank.
When it comes to protecting your workforce, trust the workwear brand that has been protecting workers for over 150 years, Sweetall. Sweetall has overalls and uniform solutions for every industry, so your team is safe, comfortable, and ready to tackle any challenge. Visit our Boksburg showroom, shop A1 Atlas Road, Westwood, Boksburg, or go to sweetall.com today. Sweetall, we never let you down. Superior protective workwear since 1871.
Some things are better doubled, like scoring twice or getting paid just before the weekend. This July, double your rewards. Absa Rewards and Shell V Plus Rewards are giving you up to 60% real cash back. Plus, up to R1 per litre on fuel spend every time you fill up at Shell. That's double the value every visit. Simply pay with your Absa card, tap or scan your V Plus Rewards and get rewarded twice, depending on your rewards tier. Offer valid 1 to 31 July 2026. T's and C's apply.
Coming up
on the Clement Manyatela Show
on 702.
Clement Manyatela in the hot seat. I was riveted yesterday listening to your show and you taking that feed live from the commission yesterday. It was absolutely
interesting.
Brilliant.
So
right?
I went to Kate Matlala's lawyer afterwards during break, after I finished the show, because she was leaving and I saw her by the parking and I went to say hi. And I told her that, I remember you from 2013. I was a young reporter, or 2014, and I was covering Rhoda van Kretsch's trial. She was Rhoda van Kretsch's lawyer, and she hasn't changed a bit. The way she speaks, her mannerisms. So it was good to chat to her. I actually wanted to invite her on the show.
It's obviously working for her.
It is. It's almost like she's got a clientele, right? There's a specific clientele she has, and my goodness, she will get in there and represent them like it's the last
To
day
the
on
hills.
earth. Yeah.
All right. What's on the show today?
So coming up on the show today, we are going to reflect on Mr. Parayachi's testimony at the commission. We did that a bit yesterday, but he was back on the stand yesterday, and there are just some things that are not making sense. So many discrepancies about the case they think is strong against Dumisani Khumalo and some of these top intelligence officials. So I'm going to play some clips and explain to the listeners what I think is quite problematic, and I want to hear what their thoughts are. We will talk about, are you disappointed with Argentina now going to face off with Spain? I was really hoping for Argentina versus France. Is this what you were hoping for?
Look, I was hoping for a France victory against Argentina, should it have got there in the final. But I was a little tender that England lost yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was actually.
I was celebrating. At 10 o'clock, though, we're going to do our Across the Desk feature. No, it's not Across the Desk today.
Kevin
We do our Hanging Out feature. And today we've got Rolf Meyer on our Hanging Out feature, South Africa's ambassador to America.
You must get Jude Bellingham, hey? Then I'll stay. He says, who's that? He's an English player, footballer.
Oh, then you'll stay.
Then I'll stay. And I'll hang out with you too.
Hi, this is Carol Shabalala, Hollywood Bets brand ambassador. It's more fun when it's for fun. Playing responsibly is always a winning strategy. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling toll-free counseling line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
If an employee said they were struggling with anxiety, financial, or family challenges, would your business know how to assist? The reality is 1 in 3 people experience mental health challenges. Kaelo Lifestyle helps employees and their families with confidential counseling, coaching, legal guidance, financial wellness, and nutrition advice. When employees get the support they need, businesses benefit from healthier, more productive teams. If you're looking to support your people and strengthen your workplace, visit kaelo.co.za. That's kaelo.co.za.
Famous for available staff. Famous for knowledgeable staff. Famous for always helping you with a smile. Now with 10 stores across Gauteng and a new branch in the East Rand in September, our expert staff are here to help you with all your hardware needs. Paint, power tools, gardening, pet care and plumbing. Big on stock, strong on service, built on values. Chamberlain, famous for hardware since 1903.
What is your business here? You didn't start your business to play it safe. You took the leap, made the bold move, and now it's time to make the next one. This week, 702 and Budget Business Insurance are giving small businesses the chance to win their share of 100,000 Rand with the Budget BizBucks Bonanza. Enter on PrimeMediaPlus.com. Tell us about the boldest move you've ever made in your business and what your next one will be. Then get an obligation-free Budget Business Insurance quote. 702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa could call you. Budget Insurance is a licensed non-life insurer at FSP. T's and C's apply.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Well, if you've looked at the headlines lately and thought to yourself, you really couldn't make this stuff up, you're not alone. Because between all of the political drama we're living through, the various commissions, processes in parliament, court cases, there are so many twists and turns in South African law, in South African life. All you have to do is just laugh. South African laugh. Can just laugh. Anyway, political comedian and news analyst Dan Corder joins us in studio because he's inviting audiences to a brand new show. The news is a joke. If we don't laugh, we'll sigh. It opened at the Market Theatre last night. I'm surprised you were able to get up, Dan. Good morning.
I would only have got up for 7:02.
Oh, you say that to all the girls. You say that to all the girls.
I really don't, and you can check my interviews on radio. It's you and Clement, basically. No, it's a thrill to be here. Thank you for having me. Genuinely listen to you guys all the time. It was really lovely. I mean, we got
How'd it go? Yeah.
Yeah, we got a full house in the Mani Manum, live band, Kopano Jazz Collective. We went live to YouTube, so I think it was the first time ever that a show of our kind had gone out live to South Africa without a TV channel. We had my dear friend and multi-award-winning comedian Yasin Barnes coming up from Cape Town, and then we had the wonderful Amahle Jakla, who is one of my favorite people on the planet. And we just laughed and we talked seriously at the same time. We laughed at the MCU, not the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Madlanga Cinematic Universe, and we dealt with and talked through the upcoming elections, and it was really brilliant. And we've got 4 more shows tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, and then Sunday afternoon. And it's the market, Bongani. It's the coolest, it's the theater of the struggle. It's so beautiful.
I mean, you and I spoke off air about the time we're living in where the news can be so dark and depressing, and that balance between the light and the shade, right? Making sure that even though the news is serious and perhaps through laughing at it, you're able to talk to the stories that people want to hear, even if the lens is through humor.
So, because we start from a departure point of humor, we are still then able to talk about the hectic stuff. So I've got a series of jokes on the show about the women who are bringing down the bad men. And a lot of it is quite funny, like Julius Mkhunazi's ex-girlfriend, the alleged BBL Kapmatlala girlfriend, and all the rest. And that's objectively funny. But then because I've got people laughing, I can then say also Tebogo Tobejane survived an assassination attempt and went into hiding. And her bravery to pursue a case is the reason why Kapmatlala is going on trial for attempted assassination next week. We should honor her. So the laughter allows you to then have the heavy stuff, people survive it, and then come back with the next joke.
Who should be nervous to come see your show?
Politicians. The entire political establishment. But a couple of politicians came last night, and I appreciated them being good sports.
Have you ever crossed the line?
With my jokes?
Yeah, where not because somebody objected, but you yourself, upon reflection, thought, ooh, maybe I went too far with that one.
Yeah, but only... Okay, so my view is that good comedy punches up. And so I only worry when I feel like I haven't punched up at power. I've hit down on somebody who is already depleted in some way or another. I don't think I make that mistake often. The only thing that I genuinely am anxious about, Bongani, is when I make jokes about my family and my loved ones, because I want to make sure that they know that I'm joking and I'm not trying to basically embarrass them.
Right.
But we largely avoid those problems.
I mean, many of us joke that, as I said in my introduction, you really couldn't make some of this stuff up, right? How hard is it for a comedian to write and commentate on the news when it already is so,
absurd? Yeah,
it's absurd. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
I think it's the way that you tell the story, and the job of a comedian in this moment is to tell the story well, but then interweave it with other stories to say something new, to have a new insight, and then in particular to provide punchlines and perspectives on humor for these stories in ways that have not been done yet. I don't think it's impossible. I just think it's a higher and harder level of creativity required when you've got fascists and Kapmatlalas and the rest.
What we're going to do, let's play a game of rapid fire.
Okay.
We're going to ask you questions. You've got to give me answers as quickly as they come to you. KG is going to play a little background music just for extra drama.
Top of my head.
Give me the first answer without hesitating, without blinking. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Okay, quick one. Sorry, clarify.
Without hesitating.
Is it a literal superpower?
If you had a superhero, what first comes to mind?
Super speed.
What's a ridiculous fact you know?
A ridiculous fact I know is that, the most dangerous city in South Africa is actually Pietermaritzburg per capita.
Worst piece of advice you've ever received?
Good. Karma will always come for the bad people in the end.
Something nasty that was said to you earlier in your career?
He has no genuine talent. People just listen to him because he uses big words.
Who said that?
Someone who tried to end my career, and now his career has ended.
Ooh. If you could change your name, what would you change it to?
Peter Parker, but you set me up on the earlier question.
If you grew up in a different decade, which one would you choose?
I'd love to have been. I'd love to have grown up in the 80s and the 90s.
If you could be invisible for a day, what would you do?
Visit Pala Pala.
What's the most overrated food?
The most overrated food?
Has to be the strawberry. Come on.
No, strawberry's
Tastes like
fine.
nothing.
No, strawberry's fine. I don't mind a strawberry. I think that cornflakes are so overrated.
Fashion trend you don't want to see come back?
Sorry to my young Afrikaans hipster listeners. Unbelievably tight jeans.
Or veldskoene, right? Sunday, Argentina or Spain?
Spain, unless Messi decides to Messi, because Spain is objectively the better team. But England last night made the terrible mistake of letting Messi just run wherever he wants, and Argentina did. And Spain against France showed the way to deal with a team when you're ahead is to keep attacking.
If you're exhausted by our politics, if you've had a long week reflecting on the commissions, the court cases, and all the mess, and you just want to have a bit of a laugh, you want to impress somebody about the smart news you follow, go to the Market Theatre. It's happening, started last night until the 19th of July. The news is a joke. It's the new Dan Corder show. And I believe on Saturday, I think it is, you've got an interesting guest.
The very same.
Should be fun. Dan Corder at the Market Theatre.
702.
More than a radio station.
Let's walk the talk.
And he'll allow me that minute of his show because I just plugged him at the Market Theatre. The Clement Manyatela Show starts now.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Proceedings are expected. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Proceedings are expected to start in the Western Cape High Court, where President Cyril Ramaphosa's lawyer is expected to respond to arguments from opposition parties in his efforts to halt impeachment proceedings. Advocate Vim Trengrove yesterday argued in court that Ramaphosa is entitled to protection from the court